Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark MaBo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is Dale the Demon Torborg.
My name is Bryce Rensburg. I'm the Chikara Senior Official.
This is April Hunter from AprilHunter.com.
I'm Bobby Ches, a three-time world champion, Showtime expert analyst.
This is Coolio with the Flow, a.k.a. the Ghetto Gourmet.
This is Dan the B7, the only Triple Crown champion in the UFC history.
Hi, everybody. This is Jerry the King Lawler. That's right, WWE Hall of Famer.
This is Jeff Damon from Deadliest Warrior on Spike TV.
You have tuned in and are now live listening to the three-time NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Scrapper Nana Pierce. And just like you, I am also locked in. And, brother, we are beyond ringside.
Six minutes after the top of the hour. Yes, while everything else starts on time, the best starts late. Give you a chance to find out what's going on, and you can change the channel, come over here. Greetings. Yes, we're live actually on this 29th day of September. September is officially almost done. Enochtober. Yeah, I got it. I got it.
I know, but I gotta watch out for my boy.
Yeah, we're both watching out for him. Thanks for playing. I'd like to welcome everybody into Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics, where everything is on the table. Nothing's off the record.
Where's my penis?
Shush up. It's 7 minutes after the 8 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone. Thank you to everybody listening in through BeyondRingside.com, through the Beyond Ringside mobile app, Win Out, Shoutcast. I'm trying to say
Shoutcast.
Yeah, there you go. That's a new one for you, Mark. Fast Eddie Layne, live from...
Hey, it's the only radio station that fecal matters.
There you go. And trust me, fecal matters. Fast Eddie Layne, live from Studio One, welcoming in tag team partner from BR Live on Sundays, and we're going to be back this coming Sunday. Mark MaBo Bowman. What's up, MaBo?
What's up, bitches?
You're taking chase lessons again, aren't you?
What's up, bitches?
There you go. Quick rundown. Mark and I are going to be going to the top of the hour, 9 o'clock in the Central Time Zone, and coming in around 5 minutes after the top of the hour. The cast from WrestleRage Radio with Smarkrage and Stan. In other words, Smarkrage and Stan coming on board. And at 10 o'clock p.m. Central Time, slated to be joined by a good friend of the family and one of my new co-hosts for the Beyond Ringside Saturday Showcase. Shane Knowles from the Peach State Wrestling Alliance is going to be coming on board a little bit later. So we're going to be going at least 3 tonight and ready to have a little fun. Catch us by email, beyondringside@gmail.com. Chat room is open over on our website. Got a lot of things going on. It's getting crazy. Going to let everybody know real quick, tomorrow, September 30th, which is Wednesday, the To Be Determined show returns live. Catch the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design Clyde Braddock. Enunciation today. It's a bitch. Angie Nemesis, and of course their very special guest coming on board this week will be the Complete Wrestling Machine Spiral. Looking forward to having the Bosnian Badass on the To Be Determined show.
Yeah, but you never had him on Beyond Ringside, and boy, did we find out about that last Saturday.
No, he's been on BR Back to Basics, and he's been on GCW Radio, and he's been on To Be Determined.
According to his rant that he had in the parking lot.
There you go.
Yeah, whatever the hell accent that was, I'm not even sure what that was.
Bosnian.
I'm just saying, he was all like, you're going to sit there and have him over on your show, and you're not going to have it on my show, you're not going to invite me over there, you so I was going to be there. And I was like, what the fudge is he saying?
There you go. No, I knew exactly what he was saying. And one of the things he was asking is why his picture wasn't up on the wall, which has not been updated in over a year.
Yeah.
It's because, I don't have time.
B, you're a drunk.
Actually, no, I quit drinking about 2 weeks ago.
I quit drinking about 2 o'clock.
No, 2 weeks ago. Seriously, I haven't. And actually, it's probably just as well because I hadn't been drinking that much for a while. I mean, I would have a Crown Sprite or a beer or something like that every once in a while. I may have had one shot of Jägermeister in the last year, but I really don't drink that much anymore. And honestly, I haven't had a drink in over 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, we're going to change that this Saturday.
Party at Peach State.
Trust me, we almost killed you on the last ride to a show. Me and Schmitke are going to try it again.
Just don't do it on air. That's all I'm going to say.
All I'm saying is, wait. It's not going to be there, is it?
Probably not.
Good.
99% chance of no. He hadn't said anything, but we're going to leave that alone.
That's why I'm eating taffy, because I just sit there and chew on it so I don't start cussing.
I made the reference. Party at Peach State this coming Saturday, October the 3rd, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The Peach State Wrestling Alliance returns to the historic VFW Fairgrounds, and the party is on. I will be there. I'm actually going to be doing commentary for PWA this coming Saturday. MaBo Bowman slated to be there. Billy Schmitke, the roaming renegade, as I like to call him. I like that. That's going to stick, too. There is a rumor that the cast of TBD, Wicked Nemesis, Angie Nemesis, and Brian DeFord are going to make the trip over. There is a rumor that the cause, Robert Cosper, is going to make his way over. So, like I said, this could end up being a party at Peach State. Trust me on this one, it's going to be good. The main event, in one of the main events, Cedric Alexander taking on Kyle Matthews. And I'll tell you this now, this has ramifications of being a possible match of the year candidate, not only in the state of Georgia, but definitely all the way across the country. So if you get a chance to, for our friends, it doesn't matter, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, this coming Saturday, the place to be is Carrollton, Georgia for Peach State Wrestling Alliance. Hang on a second. Yeah. Okay, give me the commercial break. I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Not like we're live or anything. There's bust up in there. Probably talking about tacos or something.
Yeah, we're talking about tacos. Dinner's ready in Studio One. Food's good.
Then why are you sitting there doing the show, man?
Because I'm going to go get some food at the commercial break and kill it in 3 minutes flat.
3 minutes flat. Boy, you sure you stopped drinking?
I'm positive I've stopped drinking, and I don't smoke weed anymore either. I stopped doing that a long time ago.
I did. Hey, who said anything about that? Uh-oh.
I did.
Uh-oh.
I'm one of the ones who sit back and says that it should be decriminalized and it should be that medicinal marijuana should be legalized.
I got no problem with that.
So there. And that's as close to political as I'm going to be getting. And
And you know what I'm going to do? Have another piece of taffy.
There you go. And actually, this is back to basics. I can get political if I want to. I just choose not to.
You know better, because I'll sit there and just be like, hey.
You going to do a Mad Dog Dan Sawyer impression?
Hold on. Mad Dog eating taffy. Smoky Mountains.
Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, that's what my buddy got for who's up in Smoky Mountains. They brought me some.
Oh, okay, that works. Now, one of the things I want to talk about, I want to bring up, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the NXT panel that debuted on WWE Network.
I was there.
And I've got to sit back and give credit where credit is due. Triple H actually did everything he could to make it not about him, but everybody else on the panel made it about him. I don't know if it's called sucking up or schmoozing or whatever verb you want to put there, but I've got to sit back and say I'm really appreciative of the way things went on that panel discussion back from SummerSlam. That was the first time that I've seen it was last night after Raw. And for me personally, I mean, at first I was kind of curious. It's like, okay, Rollins is on here. Oh, that's right. He was the first NXT champion. So that gives him carte blanche to be there. But to have, Corey Graves, Kevin Owens, Sasha Banks, Byron Saxton, of course, hosting the panel discussion, as well as, like I said, with everything in place, Triple H and Seth Rollins on there also. You have to appreciate the factor of what has happened and the runaway locomotive that NXT has become. Because I have to agree that you really can't call it developmental anymore. It is its own brand. And they brought up the statistic that with the exception of the Sting Triple H match at SummerSlam, Sting Triple H Mania match, that every match had somebody who had come through NXT on it, which is absolutely killer in my book. Because this is something that I had talked about for a number of moons. The factor that WWE had become lax about cultivating new top-tier talent. Now, granted, everybody who's come through NXT is not top-tier. But I will say this. There's a lot of times where a lot of the people that have come through NXT are better than some of the ones that have been on the roster for a while. And they actually seem like they know how to draw reactions, draw heat, and get pops better than long-standing members of the roster. MaBo, your thoughts?
Boobs.
About what I was talking about.
Oh, well, you just said one of my thoughts. Yep. That's the next sound you hear, ladies and gentlemen, will be Eddie pouring himself a drink.
Nope.
He lasted all of 5 minutes on air with MaBo.
8.
Honestly, you got to think about this. How many people, let's say, that came through, that they said was in the statistics of the Mania thing and yada, yada, whatever. How many of them came from the independents? I mean,
the majority of them.
we could rattle them off. Kevin Owens wasn't in Mania, but
No, he was at SummerSlam.
okay. But let's look who's in NXT or the ones that have just transitioned to the main roster. Let's see. I mean, we could start with just the men alone. Even though he's been there, more than a minute, but number one, Antonio Cesaro.
Of course.
Number two, I mean, we saw what a heat magnet Kevin Owens was.
Yep.
In Ring of Honor and everything else he's done. Cesaro, heat magnet, if they just let him do what he needs to do. Neville, I mean, world traveled. He knows how to work just about every. I mean, he primarily does the high flying, but he's worked just about probably in front of every crowd of different wrestling national, like American over. You got the Puro Wrestle, you got the Catch Up in England, and parts of Canada, and you get the Lucha in Mexico. He's wrestled it all.
Yep.
I mean, of course he's going to know. I mean, look at the women. Sasha Banks plied her trade on the Indies. Bayley plied her trade on the Indies. Paige plied her trade on the Indies. Becky Lynch plied her trade on the Indies. Charlotte never once probably did indie work. I mean, if she did it, probably low budget. But she's come a long way. I mean, even people who don't get, excuse me, the taffy has seemed to have made me a bit phlegmy. People who don't get used as much, but are straight up independent. Emma, she did a lot of work in Australian independence. Right now on the mechanics, you got a guy, Scott Dawson, good friend of Mark James.
Yeah.
You got all these guys who are coming from the indies. They're not the like a Mojo Rawley with just a football background or
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin. Good. I mean, good. You look at Baron Corbin, and especially if this was the late '80s, early '90s. Promoter's wet dream as far as look and just intensity. And
that's a Vince wet dream.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said late '80s, early '90s. But he's limited, not as limited as other people who have had his size and stuff in the past. But you look at him, and then you turn and he looks more what you'd want in a superstar, but can't really go. Whereas in contrast, you look at someone who looks like Bull Dempsey, for example.
Yeah.
Who has more of a throwback look, and I notice they're kind of putting the robe on him like he's Dr. Death, but or Michael Elgin. But you look at a guy like Bull Dempsey, who you would be like, okay, yeah, he's a throwback to the mid Carter of the '80s, but that guy can go because he plied his trade, cut his teeth where on the independents. He actually went to Taz's finishing school back when Taz had a finishing school for like a couple of months. So. You got these guys you're bringing in this independent talent. I don't know what they're going to do with them, but like Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano.
Right.
I mean, look at those guys. So, these people are learning to, and it's been said I don't know how many times on Back to Basics, on the main show, on Saturday Showcase. I really want this piece of taffy because it's chocolate. All the shows, TBD, all that. When you do, or when you go to attend whatever, a WWE show, whether it's a house show where it's a little bit smaller, or where you go to TV taping or even a pay-per-view, it's this grand scale. It's hard to get a feel for what's going on. I mean, you can listen to interviews themselves, especially the ones at Mania, that it throws you off the first time, because when you do something, the crowd pops. It literally takes about 10 to 15 seconds for a reaction because the noise has to go out and it goes up.
Yeah.
And you can't even tell what's going on.
I agree.
But you got the intimacy of independent shows. All of the people and then some. I mean, if you even want to go back, far back as Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, and which, by the way, just a little side note, listen to the quote-unquote controversial and damning podcast, Colt Cabana's podcast, that had Punk.
Mm-hmm.
And what's causing the alleged lawsuit from Wink Wink, the WWE doctor, and him alone. No prodding by WWE whatsoever. Like I said, there was nothing damning that Punk said. He stated what went on, and he never said any names either. He just said Doc. He could have been talking about Doc Hendricks. Who knows? But, you go back to Punk, any of those guys. Independent wrestling is so intimate. I mean, it's growing a little bit because, Ring of Honor is starting to break out. Or, they're doing tremendous. But, you got your independents where, a lot of these people first came up, and, you're maybe looking at 100-200 max. So you know how to, I guess, get, no pun intended, but you get bang for the buck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get, because you can hear, you could hear the comments and the criticisms, and you could see the reactions on the face. I was once again, because I got tired of the Taz podcast because it went from being a podcast to his daily live show, like live call-in. And I don't want to hear what other people have to say. I want to hear a wrestler interview another wrestler, and road stories, share experiences, whatever. So Taz, no offense, love you to death. Had to drop your podcast. Started listening to Art of Wrestling, and I can't remember who Colt was interviewing, but they were talking about a Hacksaw Jim Duggan story. And I think Hacksaw first match, I think it was WrestleMania 3, and they asked Hacksaw, what was it like wrestling in front of all those people? He's like, well, I didn't have my glasses on, but I could see the first 3 rows, and they looked like they had a good time. So you get to learn that that intimacy,
right,
when you're on the independents. You have some of these people who go straight. They come in, they toil in developmental for a couple months, and then push to the moon, and then immediately shot straight up to the main roster. Bada boom, bada bing. They don't get a feel for it. So. And I think that's changing as well, because unlike Vince, who didn't really think about the future so much, he was more of, let's call 30 people up at once, throw them up against the wall, see who sticks. I mean, if you think about the what I call the OVW Exodus, where you had Cena come in, Orton come in, Batista come in, all the way down to even though Nova has been around for a while, everything from like Simon Dean, if you remember the Gemini Twins, Crime Time, Deuce and Domino, all these people who, Colt Cabana himself when he was Scotty Goldman, when they started emptying out OVW before they left OVW to move, concentrate everything at FCW.
Right.
Remember, you had all these, there was about that 5-year period where people were just coming out and they were just throwing it up a wall, see what sticks, see what sticks, see what sticks. Some of it stuck. Some of it's still sticking, like a Cena or an Orton. some of it hit against the wall, fell right off, like the Gemini twins. Some stuff was repackaged.
Gemini twins, wasn't that Basham brothers?
No, the Bashams, Doug and Danny Basham, which
right.
was actually Doug Basham, and Danny Basham was actually the Damaja.
Damaja, yeah.
No, Damaja.
Okay.
It was a hip slang. I always thought it was that too. I don't know what the gimmick was, but turns out it was just a hip slang way of saying damager.
Right.
So, but some stuff stuck, some of it didn't. But to me, Triple H now is looking at NXT. He's thinking about the future, and not just with talent, but with people who are training the talent. We all know what happened with DeMott. He left, or was dismissed, or however you want to see it. So, what does he do? He brings in Matt Bloom, A-Train, whatever you want to call him, Albert. But not only does he do that, but he's also got guys like Norman Smiley, who's been in the business for a while.
Scrap Iron Adam Pierce.
Huh?
Pierce?
Scrap Iron Adam Pierce.
Yeah.
You've got Robbie Brookside, I think. Yeah, Robbie Brookside. I don't know if he's still down there, but I know Robbie Brookside was down there. He's got Sarah Del Rey for the women.
I know Jimmy Jacobs had been doing some stuff down there.
He was mainly doing production.
Right.
But, I mean, they also had Sarah Stocks, Sarita, whatever from TNA. She's going to be making her way down there to work with the women. So Triple H is not only thinking about the future of who's going to get called up to the main roster in 3, 4, 5 years, but he's looking at people who's going to be passing on the knowledge. And if you look at all the trainers who they've had, and guest trainers, I mean, for crying out loud, Triple H is like, okay, so you're not coming, so you don't come in with a, once again, no pun intended, you don't come in with a pedigree from, the independents, like a Fergal Devitt, like a Kevin Steen, so on and so forth. Say you are a Mojo Rawley, you're just a dude from football. Well, hell, I'm going to make sure that you've got people who have put in the time and put in the effort and toured around the world and knows how to operate this business. I mean, you got Regal down there. God bless him. He, passed away. Dusty was down there, and had a hand in character development. I mean, if two people who I would take notes from on character development, Dusty Rhodes and William Regal. I mean, come on. So Triple H, to me, is looking at this, and I'd officially say it's a brand. It's not developmental. It's a brand. It has its own TV show.
Right.
Yes, FCW had their own TV show, but FCW was also only local, or you watched it on Hulu or YouTube or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't, I'm trying to remember if there was any shirts for FCW people. I think there was, but not like this. You are a brand when you go from a developmental to a brand when the company sits there and goes, okay, you got a weekly show. All right, we're giving you live specials. All right, we're giving you merchandise. You're getting T-shirts. You're getting, 8x10s, and we're going to have them on the .com for people to buy.
Right.
Because you know what? Yeah, it's cool in Florida if the locals are rocking, say, the new Vaudevillains T-shirt. Well, guess what? Spiffy McGee up here in frickin' Boise, Idaho, he might watch it, he might watch it on the network and think, oh, man, I can't really afford to go all the way to Florida to get this shirt and be at NXT, but I really want to put my money behind this brand. Well, here you go, Spiffy. You can now order the new shirt. So I think Triple H, it's the old saying, Wayne Gretzky's dad told him a long time ago, don't look at where the puck is, look at where the puck is going. Be there. Don't be where the puck is, be where it's going. And Triple H is looking where the puck is going. And, for all his past transgressions in the locker room, and there's people who don't like him, once again, back to the Punk interview. Punk stated some issues that he had with Triple H. He never really buried Triple H, though. That's the thing. He never buried Triple H.
So Barry Vince. He buries Vince.
Well, he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't. And for those of you who a year or so ago when Punk walked away, who were sitting there going, "Oh, he turned his back on the business," I'm the one that said I was like, did it suck that he walked away from the fans? Of course, this was all before the medical stuff came out. I was like, did it suck that he walked away? Yes, but I never said he owed it to the fans because he wouldn't have walked away unless there was an issue, and he goes into it. And like I said, it's a really good, interesting listen. And for those of people who sat there and called him a quitter or whatever, if you haven't listened to it, listen to it.
Right.
But
do me a favor.
Triple H, I would say Triple H, honestly, and I'm going to wrap this up. I would say right now, to me, it seems like with NXT, Triple H may be trying to make up for his past transgressions.
And I think it's working.
I got no problem with it. Hey, I prefer, I would sit there and watch NXT more than I would freaking, Raw or Smack. I don't even watch SmackDown anymore.
Couple of things I want to hit on. We're about to go to the bottom of the hour break. I'm going to shift gears just a little bit. I want to say a very special thank you to Steve and Laura for inviting me down this past Sunday to DJ Savannah's Sweet 16 party. Actually, I'll say it like this. Steve is actually my former pastor at Lakeview United Methodist. Also longtime friend in addition to that. But Savannah, I want to say her birthday is tomorrow. She officially turned 16. It's funny when you have the Sweet 16 on a Sunday and you get the car, but you still have to ride with the parents because you don't have your official license yet. And here's the funny part about this. When they gave her the car, lo and behold, as they get in, she's behind the driver's seat. Steve is sitting, or the dad is sitting in the passenger seat. She turns on her signal. She makes the left turn to go around the block. As the light changes, Fayette Police Department's right in behind her.
Oh, Jesus. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. It was perfect. Didn't light it up or anything. It's just, I thought it was funny as hell. She turns left, light turns red, and Fayette comes right through the intersection, just cruising right along. It's like, oh, I wish I'd have been videoing. I really do. I had a great time this past Sunday. Once again, Savannah, I want to say a happy Sweet 16, especially tomorrow when the birthday really hits. To Steve, Laura, thank you for having me down. Thank you for the invitation and the honor of being able to DJ this party. And to everybody I had the privilege of meeting this past Sunday, I really look forward to making a return to Fayette sometime soon. I've actually been in conversation with a number of people about coming down to DJ different functions in the upcoming months. So I'm really looking forward to this opportunity, and I'm very thankful for that. Also, got some more happy birthdays I want to throw out there. A good friend of mine just celebrated hers a couple of days ago. Donna, I want to say happy birthday in your direction. Celebrating today, longtime friend of the Beyond Ringside family, and of course, one of the former hosts of the To Be Determined show, Tasha Simone, former multi-time NWA world champion. I don't have to put women's world champion. She's a former world champion. Let it go at that. Tasha celebrating her birthday today. Longtime friend of mine from here in the local area, and also former lead singer for the band Toxic Shock, Troy Mowry. Troy, want to say happy birthday in your direction. Crystal, happy birthday. Got a lot of special occasions going on this past weekend that I'm not going to be able to cover all of them as far as anniversaries go and stuff like that. But also tomorrow, longtime personal friend of mine, Hannah Smith, the daughter of the Man Called Evil, Beyond Ringside original, and of course, longtime friend. Hannah turning 24 years of age tomorrow. Congratulations, Hannah. Happy birthday in your direction. And also this Thursday, good friend of the family, Leanne Engel, celebrating her birthday. And, when you get to a certain point, you never mention a woman's age. I won't, because I like to live to see the following day. Also, a couple of other things that are going on for our friends in our hometown area of Birmingham, Alabama. Halloween's kicking in, and that means there are some great, and I mean great, ways to get out and about and have a little fun. Warehouse 31 is opening, had their soft open this past weekend. They are coming back full scale. This is going to be good all the way through the season. It really is. But once again, that is going to be in Pelham, Alabama, Warehouse 31. Looking forward to this. It's going to be really good. 3050 Lee Street is the GPS address. So if you're in central Alabama and you want to hit a great haunted house, definitely check it out. I want to say hello to a good friend of mine, Courtney Elizabeth, who works down there. Hoping the coffin will not bruise her too badly, because I know she said it did in rehearsals. Also got a number of friends.
Wait. Is she hot?
Yes.
Is she single?
Go away. Also, got a lot of friends who are going to be working once again with Slot try it again. You screwed me up. With Sloss Fright Furnace at Sloss Furnace. I'll get it right one of these years. Screw it. So for our friends in Birmingham, also definitely check out Sloss Fright Furnace this year at the Sloss Furnace. Always a great time. Special hello to everybody who is working over in Outbreak this year. And of course, want to go ahead and let me see. I had it over here a second ago. Damn it, where did it go?
Wait. Outbreak?
Outbreak 2, actually.
Outbreak? Oh, isn't that O'Hagan's
Yes.
nickname?
No. That's what he causes. That's what he causes. That's not the same. There you go. He's going to come back and bite you on that one, and you know it too. Also, want to let everybody in our home market of Central Alabama know about the Tomb of the Risen Dead at DeSoto Caverns.
Hey, you know who works that, don't you?
I want to say a very special thank you to longtime friend Jenny Boatwright for letting me know about what's going on out there, and she's actually working out there this year. So, Jenny, thank you for the message. Greatly appreciated. So, once again,
if you want to see her costume, then go to her Facebook page and check it out. She looks really good.
Yeah, her character's name is Madam Insight. And love the outfit, love the dress. Did not know that DeSoto Caverns was actually doing a haunted gimmick this year, but very happy to find that.
Hate to cut you off,
it's what you do.
Huh?
It's what you do. You cut me off all the time. Continue.
I know, but so I got delivered and stuff, and I've been seeing the billboards and stuff for it. So
yeah,
I think it's the first year they've done it, or at least in a while.
I'm not quite sure, but of course the full-scale opening night is going to be October the 1st, so definitely get ready. So for our friends in Central Alabama, you got 3 great choices. Definitely take the time, check them out, hit them all. Tomb of the Risen Dead at DeSoto Caverns, Sloss Fright Furnace at Sloss Furnace, and Warehouse 31 down in Pelham. Folks, we're going to take
Or there's a fourth one. Scariest place I've ever heard in my life. I personally would never go there, but I heard that it's just one attraction. And to say it's an attraction at all, it's just can't use it.
Hurry!
But it's called Fast Eddie Layne's bedroom, first thing in the morning. He rolls out in his...
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find the Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Motor Fast Eddie Layne as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
This is Danny Cage from the world famous Monster Factory, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Hey, halfheads, it's a 3-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, and just like me, you are locked in Beyond Ringside.
A little bit loud, sorry about that. 19 minutes before the top of the hour.
Beyond Ringside Back to Basics is live on this 29th day of September. Fast Eddie Layne over here. Mark MaBo Bowman, welcome back, brother.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Hold on. Taffy.
You and Taffy. What can we say? I think I knew a stripper named Taffy one time. Let it go.
Probably a damn vampire.
You and vampire strip. Oh, crap.
Mess with me, and I mess with your tacos.
No, Schmitke tried to call and I missed it.
Well, duh.
You mentioned vampire strippers. I turned around and looked at the Skype line, and we missed a call. Schmitke, sorry about that, dude. Call back in real quick. I'm looking at the monitor now. I'll be able to take the call when you call in.
Don't believe that, Schmitke.
Now, I'm also
Wait, are you actually going to take this phone call? Because you know what he's going to do.
He's going to give you mortal crap, and I know it.
And you know what's going to happen.
He knows better.
I'm just saying.
All right. One other thing that I would like to bring up during this segment, and granted we're kind of keeping it WWE for a few minutes, but I do want to bring this up. If you haven't, and look, the WWE is not paying me, nor do they pay me to talk about the network. If Vince wants, if Vince wants to go ahead and buy airtime or buy commercial time, I'm all ears. We can negotiate tickets to Mania and front row, nothing less.
Forget that.
I really enjoyed the 2-part interview. Oh, hold on. There he is. I've affectionately nicknamed him the Roaming Renegade. Schmitke, what's up, dude?
A roaming renegade? What kind of crap is that?
See, I told you to keep it clean.
That hurt.
Now, first off, part of the Party at Peach State coming up this coming Saturday. Looking forward to having a little bit of fun. Now, I'm going to go ahead and throw this one out there, and I'm going to take it full circle. If you have not had a chance to watch the interview, the 2-part with JBL and Eric Bischoff, I've got to sit back and say I'm normally apprehensive when I see different individuals doing interviews because I'm always thinking it's going to turn out to be a schmooze fest or a love fest. But I give credit.
You want to do what?
You
want to schmooze with MaBo?
No.
In the butt.
I set this up, kids. But normally, and I've got to give credit, JBL actually it asked some very good questions. A couple where you can honestly see Eric Bischoff having to think before he answered.
You mean he was sober enough?
Who, Bradshaw or Bischoff?
Bradshaw.
Apparently he was.
I must have got him first thing in the morning. I hate that son-bitch. I do. I hate Bradshaw. I hate Bradshaw with a freaking passion.
Why?
Because he's he's a dick. He's a real life.
Who do you hate more, him or the name that shall not be named?
Oh, I hate the name that should not be named. I hope he freaking... I hope that, seriously, I hope he forgets when he's frying up his 80 pounds of chicken because he's a lard ass, and I hope he sits there and he reaches in to get one of these burns his hand, and he gets all the pattern, and he gets all crusty, and he gets
okay.
his own hand.
MaBo.
Hey.
Stop.
He started it.
You didn't have to finish it.
Oh, yes, I
I
did.
didn't blame the name, but don't you dare blame me.
Okay, so you said he who shall not be named.
Jesus.
Hashtag. Did you say Lord Jesus? What?
No, he said Gerbil Jesus.
Oh. Anyway, no, I don't like Bradshaw because every encounter I've had with Bradshaw, as a fan, he's been a douche. And from other people that I've talked to, he's a douche. And he doesn't need to be back on the show because he's a bully and he's a douche. And you know what? You know what you do with a douche? You flush it. So, Bradshaw, I doubt you're hearing this. I wish you would hear this, you fake bastard. I hope you die on one of your little mountain climbs. I hope you sit there and you get oxygen deprivation and you bounce down the side of Kilimanjaro and you die. No, I don't want you to die. I want you to get, I want you to be crippled halfway down and you're laying there and you don't know what you're going to do. And then as you sit there and you maybe gain hope, oh, look, here's a helicopter. It's going to come. Moggle, send that helicopter to save me, Moggle. Did you see that, Moggle? Oh, I'm going to bury everybody I can, Moggle. And then I hope you slide off the rest of the mountain, your crippled body, you crack your neck on the last little rock there, and then you freaking die.
That was just so wrong, but funny, but wrong.
That was so in-depth.
I hate JBL. I really do.
But I've got to sit back and say the interview that he did with Bischoff was actually pretty damn good.
No. You want a good one? You want a good little thing there? Go watch. Now, I haven't watched the one with Piper, Orndorff, and Schneebitz Furnham. But
Table for three.
Huh? Table
for three?
Yeah. Go watch the New Day Table for three. That was funny. I enjoyed that one.
You know, I watched the one with Piper, Orndorff, and Okerlund.
I ain't sure it was that drunkard. I
wasn't on it. I'm innocent.
Look, I hate Okerlund. You know what? Because he's stupid. He never.
Who do you like?
Who do I like?
That's an easier list, I think.
Let's see. The guys from Chikara.
We knew this.
Damn little pigs, or your guinea pigs, your gerbils, or whatever the they are.
Hey.
My bad. I made it 2 minutes.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. This coming from a guy who wears a cutoff shirt, and then over the top of that cutoff shirt is the exact same shirt, but with the sleeves. Yeah. You and knothead Dougie Layne there. But
now, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go and bring this one up. I'm going to segue for a second.
Leave knothead out of this.
No. He's talking about the T-shirts. And you and Corey Hollis were the driving forces behind a new T-shirt that is actually starting to catch a little bit of a buzz. And this is something for, if you've seen the Bullet Club T-shirts, which a lot of people have, there's been, pulling back the curtain in a real way. Quite a few people do know that pro wrestling star Corey Hollis, you've seen him all around the southeastern and northeastern U.S. You've seen him on Ring of Honor television. Huh?
He's gay.
You're related to him, so you can say that.
Well,
I thought that's what you were going to say.
No, Corey is type 1 diabetic. Insulin-dependent diabetic. And what y'all have done is come forth and create a diabetic club T-shirt. Same basic premise as the Bullet Club shirt, however, it has bottles of insulin and syringes in place of parts of the skull. Now,
no bullets or guns.
Right. But from there, you have managed, are you really going to start working on mass producing or producing on a wider scale the T-shirts?
He's wanting to, yes. Now, when he gives me the damn money for it, 'cause I ain't paying for all this shit again by myself.
Again with the language.
I was in the parameters of the language barrier, wasn't I?
No, you said the S word.
Fecal matter.
Well, I had to take one earlier, so it counts.
Okay. However, but I'm going to sit back and say this. MaBo, you saw the shirt. I saw the shirt. Schmitke had one of the shirts. Corey's got a couple of them. And the shirt looks...
No, Schmitke has two of the shirts.
One with sleeves and one without.
One without sleeves.
But the shirt looks really cool.
It really does.
Yeah. So I'll sit back and say this. When y'all get ready to put the shirts out full scale, if Corey and you both want to pursue this really full scale, let me know and we'll help you get the word out about it.
The hell we will.
Yes, the hell we will.
Hey, the language, sir.
Hashtag hell, damn ass.
I have virgin ears.
But not a virgin mouth. Now, let me go ahead and throw this one at you. I know, Schmitke, you don't watch the network, do you?
No.
WWE Network.
Not often.
Okay. But I know...
What other network? What, the Food Network?
No, actually, New Japan has a network, too. They have a channel.
I don't speak Japanese.
Exactly.
Of course, they do have a Chikara. They do have a Chikara pay-per-view program, and MaBo is, of course, happy about that.
I don't even know. Ain't that the one with like the flying ants on it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, lo and behold, I'm going to go ahead and bring this one up. Billy, of course, a good friend of ours, who does a lot in and around pro wrestling. And how many different states have you managed to make it to for shows?
Wait, I can answer this. Inebriation, intoxication.
I've been intoxicated at a few shows.
Yeah.
Euphoria.
Addiction.
Insanity.
Yeah.
I've been on, it's like 8 or 9.
Now,
different states.
Now, I kind of pulled back the curtain a little bit and made the reference to your cousin Corey Hollis.
Wait, so y'all are really related? I'm sorry.
He's the brother I didn't want, just like Wick is the cousin I never wanted.
But now you've actually had a chance to see a number. I know that when you went to Ring of Honor, we all went over to Ring of Honor, Norcross, Georgia, a few weeks back. And do you find yourself really at a point where you do, depending on who's in the ring, pay more attention to the match as opposed to if you don't know and you know where I'm going with that, right?
Yes, if I know who it is, I pay more attention. Like Corey Hollis, him and Cedric, I pay attention to that because I know both of them. The Adam Page match, I pay attention to it because I know Adam. And, if I know the people, I'll pay attention to it. If I don't, unless it seems like it's going to be something that's going to entertain me, like a white monkey running around, I'm not really paying attention.
Well, Posey was there that night.
Yeah, well, okay, so two white monkeys.
There you
Not
go.
bad.
Has there been any, and I'll ask you both this question. Over the last few months on different shows you've gone to, has there been anybody that really just stands out and surprises you, or that surprised you going, wow, they're better than I thought they were going to be? Billy?
Probably John Schuyler.
And now this
First time I saw Schuyler, I was, I didn't expect to see what I saw at him. He's a little hefty.
Mm-hmm.
He's not fat, but he's a big boy.
Robust.
Yeah, he's like, well, I don't know who you can compare him to because, Eddie's a big fat bastard and MaBo's the second fat friend.
I will stab you in your sleep.
You still got Kunzi, don't worry.
I love Kunzi.
MaBo, same question. Has there been somebody that's really just stood out lately?
You know I don't give a crap.
Yes, you do. Don't even lie like that.
Yeah, but you're all like, you're sitting there, fart squirrel. But you're sitting there saying like I've seen something recently. Ain't nobody anything recently where I was like, ew. Why? Because I've seen just about everything. Nothing's impressed me lately.
I thought there were a few matches at Ring of Honor that did.
Probably not. I was probably just saying that because I was bored.
And I'm not even going to get you.
I'm happy to see that slant-eyed Japanese feller.
Huh?
That Japanese feller that nobody know who he is.
What Japanese
What's it?
feller?
Wasabi sauce.
Oh, Watanabe.
Yeah, wasabi.
I was like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to sit in there figure. I was like, I don't know any Japanese people.
That's where this past Sunday or this past weekend on Ring of Honor television, I really have to sit back and say it was a lot of fun. 6-man tag team main event. Roppongi Vice and the Rainmaker taking on Goto and the Briscoe brothers.
Hey, there's that white monkey again.
There you go. Speaking of white monkeys, yes, Mark Briscoe.
Danger Noodle.
Danger? Where the hell did you get that from?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at pictures.
Don't even
really
ask.
Trying to figure out where MaBo come up with something.
He's got a point there, short and curly.
There you go. There you go. Too many one-liners, not enough time.
All I want to say is Saturday when we go to Peach State,
this will be
MaBo, we're going to kill Eddie Layne on the way back. My goal is for him to die in Oxford.
Oh, I'm hoping we do.
You want me to?
Eddie's gonna die.
So you realize if I die, that means there is no more station.
Kaz knows how to do it. Remember, Kaz told us he can do it.
Yeah, the Jew told us he could do it.
Jeez.
No Jew.
That was horrible.
It's your rap sheet.
My rap sheet. I don't have a rap sheet anymore. It's been sealed.
Boople Snoot.
It's been sealed. It is no longer in existence. I can run for president and not worry.
Fluffy Nope.
Ain't nobody going to vote for you. You can't sit on the podium.
Fluffy Fat Nope.
Let's do this thing. MaBo, real quick. Last call, dude.
Cat snake, sea cat snake, duck puppy, spiky floof, danger noodle.
Now for the real one, Mark MaBo Bowman. Last call.
Sea flap flap.
I hate you.
Trash panda, danger floof. No, you know, we ain't got none of this, but I would like to, hold on, cough button. I would like to say, someone who is close to all of us, closer than others, but definitely part of the Beyond Ringside Radio Network family, whatever the hell we are. Everybody who's listening, within the sound of Eddie's voice, Wicked's, I guess, sister-in-law. I don't know.
Soon to be sister-in-law.
Jennifer.
Yeah. Angie, who's on TBD and shows up on Beyond Ringside, all that. Her sister Jennifer is having some surgery tomorrow. It's some major surgery. For those of you who know the family, you know the history, you know what's going on. But she's having some surgery, so everybody out there, if you're listening to this live, thoughts, prayers, good vibes, donations of chocolate to me, cookies.
She's having the surgery. Why do you get the chocolate?
She's not going to be able to eat it after the surgery. Duh. Somebody's got to do this. It's a horrible, dirty job. But, yeah, anyway, just, some positive thoughts because she means a lot. She means a lot to a lot of us. So just kind of, keep that whole family and everybody else in your thoughts.
Definitely. Schmitke, anything you want to throw up for last call?
Well, no, I'm spinning in circles right now.
Okay. Bowman?
You spin me right round, Schmitke right round, like a record player, round, round, Schmitke round.
And on that note, I'll go ahead and say, Bowman, you want to do Shameless No Review? Already done that.
Yeah, speaking of round,
yes, you
got some guests coming up later on, huh?
Yeah. Matter of fact, you just let me know also that this coming Sunday on Beyond Ringside Live, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Central, going to be joined by pro wrestling star, the Proletariat.
Hold on. There's nothing confirmed.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd confirmed it.
No, I did not confirm it. I am in talks. First of all, do you know how difficult it is to get email through to Moldova?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Then there's all the legal papers that we have to sign, both with the Moldovan consulate and the U.S. consulate. So it's about 98% done.
We had an easier time getting Juan Francisco de Coronado on.
Well, the Ecuadorians are still our friends and our allies in the war on terrorism. The Moldovians, maybe not.
Maybe not so much.
Yeah. So, but it is a possibility that the Proletariat Board of Moldova may or may not be joining us this Sunday. You'll have to tune in to find out. Chikara standout, Excellence Pro standout, has been on a couple of Ludus shows for Rockstar Pro. We'll see. But, fingers and pig hooves crossed.
There you go.
Yeah, buddy.
MaBo, always a pleasure. Schmitke, always a pleasure. Gentlemen, I do appreciate both of you. Folks, we're going to head to the top of the hour break. Hang with us. Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics rolls on right after this.
What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy Rave, and you're listening to the only Jimmy Rave-approved radio show. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark MaBo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is Danny Cage from the world famous Monster Factory, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill Darrens, and you're watching, you're listening, you're experiencing Beyond Ringside, and you are a better person for it. Trust me.
This is Harley Race, 8 times NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, first ever King of the Ring, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. 4Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, 4Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
Hi, this is April Hunter from aprilhunter.com, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
2010, after 2 years of constant bullying, 11-year-old Ty Smalley took his own life. In the past 7 years, more than 55,000 children have taken their own lives due to bullying. That's 22 youth suicides every day. Stand for the Silent is a grassroots organization that educates people about the harsh reality of bullying and the devastation it causes, and they need your help. Visit standforthesilent.org to learn how you can get involved and help us to save lives.
I stand for the silent. I stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I
stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I'm Roddy Piper, and we stand for the silent.
This is Bambi Weevil with Masters of Ring Entertainment, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
5 minutes after the top of the hour, hour one done, hour two underway. Welcome back into Beyond Ringside, back to basics. There may be an identity shift in the near future. Just like there's been a shift going on the other end of the line. Fast Eddie Layne, live from Studio One on this Tuesday night thing, on this 29th day of September. Like to welcome in one half of the team of WrestleRage Radio. Smarkrage, what's up, buddy?
Man, what is going on? It is Mr. Sunday Night Live on Tuesday night. It is the hit maker, the record breaker, the money shaker, the one and only Smarkrage. What the hell is going on?
Not much, man. It's been a crazy weekend. For everybody, like I said, for everybody who missed us all this past Wednesday, this past Sunday, bringing the different bands together for this coming Tuesday night. Of course, don't forget, like I said, the To Be Determined show returning live tomorrow night, September the 30th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And at the top of the hour, slated to be joined by the president of the Peach State Wrestling Alliance, Shane Knowles, right here on Back to Basics. And I think, like I said, there may be a name change in progress because for some reason that other name is just really popping in my head.
What other name?
The 10 Count.
Okay.
No relation to 3 Count. We're not going to rehash WCW to failures. Heaven courageous.
Okay.
But, no, I mean, I know you've been head over heels for AWE lately, Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. Of course, we did the live remote and the live segments and the pre-recorded material from out there, and I'm going to actually get that up on the WrestleRage Radio and the Beyond Ringside podcast feed later tonight. So I apologize for running so late on that. It's just been absolute chaos on my side of the board. Every time I get ready to do something, it's been nuts.
Yeah, that's good because I got heat with everybody who came on the show. When are you going to put it up? We want to promote it. We want to promote ourselves. And I'm like, well, my producer refuses to do. And I'm like, sorry, guys. I said, I'll put you over next time I'm on the radio.
Yeah. And, we had a great time doing that because Team IOU was a part of it. Trina Michaels was a part of it. Murder One dive bombed you.
Yeah, he put me in a headlock. Did you see that?
Yeah, I know. I have the picture of it. I have that picture.
I know. Dang son of a gun.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm going to edit those down and get those up and online later tonight, too. So I'm going to be a little bit busy after we get done with the show this evening.
It's about time you damn did something.
Yeah, you know me. Yeah, I never do anything. And looking at the phone line right now, expecting a call from the other half of WrestleRage Radio, Super Stan Grubb.
Wait, he's the other half because he's no sold about the last month. I thought he retired, he quit, something.
You've told everybody live on air that he's going that he's in the middle of family circumstances right now.
I know. I'm just breaking chops. Yeah, it'd be good to have him back on there.
Yeah,
I miss him.
Hell was
hashtag held them ass.
Let's dive into a couple of topics real quick. Now, what has caught your eye as of late, whether it be on the WWE Network, on cable, on broadcast, all of the above, as far as it goes with wrestling? What has stood out to you lately?
I watched the JBL interview with Eric Bischoff. Checked it out last week. Watched it today. Was off today, so got to catch up on that. Eric Bischoff is doing some Monday Night War stuff on the network. That's real cool. The table for three this episode had Lisa Moretti, it had Medusa, and it had Molly Holly.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh man, it's fantastic. It's just, basically the premise is it's just three people in the wrestling business sitting there basically shooting shit, talking about wrestling, talking about their career. Excuse me, hashtag hell damn ass. I apologize. Tip your waitress. They're just talking about the business, and they're eating dinner, and they're just kind of loose. The first one was with Roddy Piper, rest in peace, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, and
Gene Okerlund.
Me and Gene Okerlund, and that was awesome.
It was beautiful.
What's that?
It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it was very cool. And then 2 weeks ago, you had the New Day. And it's totally just out of character. They're just basically shooting the crap. It's fun. Did get to watch Raw last night because I had to work. What do you call it? But I'm just AWE has really caught my eye, and the reason why is because they run a show on a day that I can go see it.
Right.
It just happened to work out. Here's what I'm looking forward to. Shane Strickland, Chip Day, Sunday night, Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment, round 2. The first match they had was probably about a month ago or 3 weeks, maybe about a month ago. Shane Strickland, if you don't know, he's a kill shot from Lucha Underground. Man, those guys had a fantastic match. They're going round 2. This week, also got Cedric Alexander is coming back in. The Hierarchy's going to be there. I don't have the card pulled up in front of me, so I beg your pardon and excuse my ignorance.
No, actually, I've been trying to find the card on AWE's site as well as through Josh Wheeler and M1 sites.
Yeah, they've got it. It's up and down. You got Shane Strickland and Chip Day. The Hierarchy will be in action. The Sound and the Fury. Joe Black and William Huckabee against Team IOU. They're gonna have another battle. That ought to be good because those guys beat the crap out of each other a few weeks ago. It's going to be a good card. Here's the one I'm looking for. It's going to be David Starr. Now, David Starr is a wrestler from up north. Like Connecticut, New York, like that. And he's got a match against Cedric Alexander. And I've never seen David Starr wrestle. I've seen some of his stuff on YouTube, and him and Cedric Alexander should have a damn hell of a battle.
It's one thing. I appreciate the factor of them bringing in Cedric because the 7-man scramble that they had a few weeks ago at Tales of Arabian Facebuster was absolutely incredible. Because when it came down to it and everything was said and done, I've made the statement, and this is something we didn't get a really good chance to talk about. And Wheeler actually has the Huckabee Black and Eli Daniels match on their timeline. Wow. That's just not going to look, that's going to end ugly. I'm sorry. I was looking at Josh Wheeler's, the owner and booker of the Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. He has a match from, matter of fact, and our table's on the right-hand side, so I see where it is now. And that's just, that particular match was snug.
Somebody should have put the sock on.
Somebody should have put the socks on. That's all I'm going to sit back and say. I will agree with this wholeheartedly. But when it came down to it, and the final two in the match were, because of extenuating circumstances, were Sugar Dunkerton and Cedric Alexander. I want these two to be able to do a full match, one-on-one. I don't care if they're both face. I don't care. Okay, Cedric Alexander is a heel. We know this. But for the most part, Cedric is still over with the majority of the fans. He can try to be heel all day long, and he's going to be accepted as a heel by a certain group. Fine, great, wonderful. I respect the fact that he's going in that direction, and we had this discussion on air. We had this discussion off air. But you put Cedric Alexander and Sugar Dunkerton one-on-one in a ring, and just let them go.
Absolutely.
You are going to have a match of the year candidate.
Damn right.
In anybody's book. In Smarkrage's book, in Fast Eddie Layne's book, even in Stan Grubb's book. Stanley, how you doing, brother?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Ladies and gentlemen, part 2 of WrestleRage Radio with Smarkrage and Stan. Some would say he's actually the talent portion of the show.
It's okay.
Well, everybody knows the main event comes on last.
But seriously, for our friends in the great state of Georgia, this coming Saturday, this coming Sunday, you got 2 shows back-to-back. Of course, Party at Peach State is going to be this coming Saturday night. Yours truly, Mark Bowman, Billy Schmitke, Wicked Nemesis, Robert Cosper, for the Beyond Ringside family of shows will be there. And, of course, on Sunday, Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment is going to be an absolute blast. So definitely check out both shows. Saturday night in Carrollton, Sunday night in downtown Atlanta at the Legacy, 1 block down from the Varsity.
Wait, who's coming with Schmitke?
MaBo, me, Wick, Cosper.
I think I may come to that show and see how much wrestler ass I could kiss in Peach State Wrestling.
Children.
I think Mr. MaBo would be appreciative of that. I'd like to witness that firsthand.
Yeah, well.
Stan, I asked Corey the question. I'm going to throw it your way also. What has been catching, since it's been a while since we've had a chance to get you on air, whether it be on the WWE Network, whether it be on cable or satellite or syndicated, all the way across the board or even broadcast, what's caught your eye lately in pro wrestling?
You know, there's a lot that's been going on the network that's really been impressive. If you haven't had the opportunity to watch Table for Three yet, you're seriously missing out. The Paul Orndorff, Roddy Piper, Gene Okerlund one was tremendous. The New Day was great. The most recent one, what's that?
Are you biting off what I just said, or were you listening? Were you eavesdropping?
Swear to God, sir, I have not heard a lick of the show just yet. I just got in my vehicle. So I just left work. Thank the Green Lizard.
Well, you know, that's basically pretty much exactly what I said. Is that Table for Three?
It's educational, isn't it? I mean, it's just amazing.
Right, Table for Three's been great. The JBL Eric Bischoff stuff was really, really, really good. I mean, here you go. You got JBL, you got Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff is being Eric Bischoff the person, not being the character. And JBL.
And let's point out that JBL, when he was active on the roster, did not like Eric Bischoff, did not want anything to do with Eric Bischoff. So it was refreshing to hear an honest, truthful conversation from both sides, and to see it play out where really Eric Bischoff comes off looking like a hero. And I think that's a fair representation for Eric Bischoff. I got a little big for his britches towards the later years, but hey, here's a guy that put Vince McMahon on the ropes and almost knocked him out.
Well, I can't always just sit back and say that it was Eric Bischoff that put him on that put Vince on the ropes. It was Ted's money. It was Ted Turner's money.
Ted's money, but Eric Bischoff is not boring. he's a creative guy. I mean, did he make the NWO happen? Yeah, maybe sort of, kind of laying the groundwork, but without Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Hulk Hogan, the NWO fails.
Well,
it's a lot of different mixes into that, or a lot of different ingredients in that mix.
And to stop you there, that came, what you just said came from Eric Bischoff's mouth on the second episode of WWE Legends with JBL. So
it's also good to hear the truth about Vince Russo. Not like we didn't know this, but come on, 50,000 people don't all tell the same lie. Sorry.
Yeah, but I've also got to jump in for a second. After the interview, the segment the gimmick between JBL and Bischoff, Vince Russo actually took to his YouTube feed, which I posted a link in a couple of groups. I didn't put it on my personal ones yet, but if you have not had a chance to see Vince Russo and his retort to Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, and I bet it starts as, what you have to understand is, because that's how all of his commentary starts off with.
Here you go. Here's what people in the wrestling business forget. Think, shoot, but work. There you go.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get so shooted up and worked up, Jack, you just get yourself worked into a shoot.
You know, brother.
Brother.
Well,
Hashtag Hulkamania's new credit.
Say that again. It didn't come across clear.
I said hashtag Hulkamania is the new cracker.
There you go. And the way that Russo laid it out there on a couple of topics that Bischoff hit, you almost have to sit back and say he has a valid point. Because...
I mean, I tell you a story, you tell me a story, it's going to be the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Well, to put the world in proper perspective, one of the things in particular that Russo brought up was his rebuttal on Bash of the Beach 2000, or that particular Bash of the Beach, the laydown, Jarrett's laydown to Hogan,
which made Hulk Hogan $5 million richer because Hulk Hogan sued Ted Turner's corporation, and he won because what's his nuts couldn't keep his mouth shut.
And the truth is that Russo lied. And Russo did not tell everybody about it and set it up to go into business for himself.
Which I agree.
Pretty shady to do to Hulk Hogan. I mean, yeah, at the time Hulk Hogan was a little bit selfish and taking advantage.
A little bit?
I get it. That's frustrating, but you signed the contract. You signed the deal. Sorry.
Okay. When Belaya's contract is put into play, and the primary thing that he has that nobody else has is that creative control over my character card.
Yep.
There's only one way that this works out because of the megalomaniac that Hulk Hogan is.
No, that's the Hulkamaniac history.
Look, no, it's megalomaniac. I'm sorry.
I know. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for Hulk Hogan because he's just the poor guy.
I have none.
But you want to know what? When you're making $50 million a year and it's bad for your business, you're gonna pull creative control anytime you can and get your way.
And his creative control card 9 times out of 10 was him getting the belt back.
Right. So big deal. It's a work. Who cares?
But I mean, the thing is, was Jarrett really the guy to be the next face of any company?
Hell no.
No, the thing.
Jarrett's best days were long behind him.
It's been laid out by all parties that Jeff Jarrett and Booker T were going to face each other later that night, and Booker T was going to become the new champion.
Right. And that's the best thing that could have happened for all parties involved. And if it had happened truly the way that it was supposed to, and Russo hadn't basically crucified Hogan in a live review, it would have been actually really good TV.
I think it would have been great TV if everything would have worked out the way that it was supposed to work out. But by the same token,
I think Hogan would have put Booker over.
No. I genuinely have to disagree with that. Because
I would agree with that too, because Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
Yeah, I remember that promo. I remember that.
Awesome, like to have them do like the WWE style recaps. and have him play that. That would have actually been awesome.
You cannot pay me to believe that Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan, would have put Booker T over, because at that point, Hogan is horrible about putting untried commodities over. Hogan is horrible about putting new people over. Hogan begrudgingly puts over people that when he's told to, because of the simple fact that it takes away from his shine.
Well, I mean, look at how he treated the whole Randy Savage debacle. You know, after his feet were forced to the fire, because you know that Hulk Hogan behind closed doors was saying, "Man, I don't understand this guy. He's a nut job." Blah blah blah. They come to him, "Hey, we want you to induct Randy Savage into the Hall of Fame." "Oh yeah, brother, I'll do it." But everybody knows what Hogan said behind closed doors. It's not a secret, and he's his own worst enemy in that regard. So, like I said, I mean, the guy's made some real stupid decisions. I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for him, because it's sad but true. Ultimately, you can only make so many mistakes before it becomes a pattern of behavior. You know, and it's sad, because wrestling has been, I won't say scarred, because I think that's pretty severe, but the business at that time was tainted because of his behavior. But it was also tainted by Bischoff's behavior. It was also tainted by Russo's behavior. Russo, I think, was more megalomaniacal than Hogan.
No.
Because at least in Hogan's case, he can say, "Well, look, for X amount of years, I've drawn and made X amount of dollars for X amount of promoters. So Vince Russo had 3 years, I've had 2 decades." You know what I mean? He had a leg to stand on.
I can agree.
Now,
Go ahead.
What's that? I was just going to say, was he at that time drawing what he did 4 years ago, 2 years ago? No, not at all. And that's someone in Hogan's close circle of yes men should have told him, "Hey, brother, you're not, you are the man, but you're not pulling what you used to. You need to start doing more business." I think as he got further along in his career, to when he came back to WWE and when he went to TNA, people were telling him that finally, even though his ideas kind of went over like a lead balloon. It was Hogan giving back at a time when he should have given back years before too.
Agreed.
Like him putting over Goldberg was apparently his idea. So, take that for what it's worth.
If it genuinely was, then I give credit where credit is due. And I'm just let me go ahead and put this one out there, and I want to run start to finish on this one. It didn't matter who it was. And I remember the Mania match between Hollywood Hogan and The Rock. You knew somewhere down the road something was going to happen to where things would be put back in place for him to turn red and yellow back into the profit margin all over again.
Absolutely.
You could see that coming a mile away. But thing about it is, I genuinely am of the ilk that it was accelerated due to the reaction that both men got at that match, the onset of that match. When you have a crowd of that magnitude shifting at the drop of a hat, and then instead of "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks," we have "Let's go Rocky, let's go Hulk."
Right.
And you have in the back everybody's jaw hitting the ground going, "Wow, this is bigger than we thought it was going to be."
Right, because like you said, they probably planned to turn Hogan, after that, but for like the double switch to happen and like Vince not be the puppeteer of it was kind of like was like a mind F you letter. Okay, see, you thought I was going to cuss there, but
no, I thought you were going to stop at F because everybody knew what you meant when you said that.
Well, I'm just
You're right. I mean, I don't know why you went with the other stuff.
It's Smarkrage. He can do that.
I think we got
exactly. I got to get myself over on Tuesday nights, brother.
Get your ish in. I know.
There you go. Get my ish in. But because I remember watching that match with my cousin when I was living in Stone Mountain, and we were drinking a Puerto Rican rum margarita, and No, Jake wasn't there. I think he was somewhere in England killing a snake.
Thank you, Earthquake.
But like him, I like looked at each other and I'm like, wait a minute, the friggin' Hulk Hogan's a good guy now and Rock's the bad guy, and it was just kind of weird, just because that's never happened before.
In that realm, no, it hasn't. But there is one other situation that I can sit back and I have a running gag that I use about this. There is one circumstance where Vince McMahon was turned heel through no doing of his own. And that was the night of the return. This has been a few years back. This is not the most recent. The night of a return of Ric Flair. And
after the Survivor Series, yeah.
Yeah, and when Flair walked out on that stage face to face with McMahon, people are booing McMahon, thus the heel turn in play for Mr. McMahon, and people are cheering Flair.
Yeah,
Now,
that's when
Yeah,
Ric
but
Flair.
you also had the Kurt Angle part of that and Steve Austin. You had different avenues that were happening at the same time that
Right.
pushed that along. But
Right.
you're right. I mean, the reaction from Flair was definitely face versus Rick McMahon getting booed.
Yeah, that's when Ric Flair bought like shares of the company, right? Him and Vince were part owners, right?
Right.
Setup, by the way.
Right, that was it. Do me a favor, folks. We're going to go to the bottom of the hour break. When we come back, a little bit more with Corey and Stan right here, Beyond Ringside. Back to Basics rolls on right after this.
Feel the rage.
I'll smack you in the nuts.
Hey, this is Stan Grubb for WrestleRage Radio right here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself and Smarkrage as we discuss the professional wrestling business from WWE, TNA, and all things in between. We'll have an interview here or there. We'll see what we can do to just keep you entertained. And along the way, we're going to have to bring up some emotion and make you think. That's what we like to do. So join us here on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you at WrestleRage.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with MaBo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
And this is Kenny Kip Kennedy, master of Kenny's Kempo Karate.
Hier spricht Tassilo Jung von Western Extreme Wrestling.
This is the Dark Child Chance Prophet, NWA National Heavyweight Champion.
This is the Temptation, Sean Tempers.
This is Jacoby Boykins, a.k.a. the Alabama Ambassador, Mr. 256.
This is the Bee's Knees, the Cast Pajamas, and the whole shebang. Johnny Gargano.
This is Bill Behrens, and you're watching, you're listening, you're experiencing Beyond Ringside. And you are a better person for it. Trust me.
And looking at around 25 before the top of the hour on this Tuesday night. 9:35 Central Time, 10:35 Eastern, and 7:35 for our good friends on the West Coast. Did anybody actually see this freaking blood moon that occurred Sunday night? I missed it. I looked, the clouds were gone, and the moon was gone too.
Nope. The only thing I saw Sunday night in the mirror was a full moon.
Was that before or after? I was about to say, was that before or after you got out of the shower?
It was after I got out of the shower.
Like to say a very special hello this evening. First off, thank you for listening to Beyond Ringside Back to Basics, 25 before the top of the hour. Fast Eddie Layne being joined by the cast of WrestleRage Radio. Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Corey's going to be on location, special guest with Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment, Corey, i.e. Smarkrage. And this coming Sunday in Atlanta, Georgia for Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. I want to say a very special thank you to Josh Wheeler. Some of the matches taking place this coming Sunday include Cedric Alexander taking on David Starr, Shane Strickland taking on Chip Day, The Hierarchy, Jimmy Rave, Murder One, and Iceman in 6-man action. Iceberg. What I said, Iceman. I was looking at an X-Men comic book cover over here on the right. Sorry. Iceberg. Sorry, he's going to smash me one of these days, too. Grizz taking on Darkmon. Dementia DeRose taking on Ashton Starr. So for our friends in the Atlanta metro area, Central Georgia, this Sunday, the place to be will be the Legacy, the Quad. It's got more nicknames than I do, and it's on Spring Street in Atlanta, Georgia, 1 block down from the Varsity. Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment.
And tickets are on sale right now for $10. If you get them now, you don't got to pay that extra $5 on Sunday. If you wait, it's $5 more at the door. So get your tickets now before it sells out.
Definitely true. Now, off air, Stan was bringing Corey up to speed what happened on Monday Night Raw last night. Now, we have, for everybody who saw it, you know where we're going with a certain scenario. We're talking about the situation with Kane, Seth Rollins, and the HR director. And Stan, I'll ask you to go ahead and pick it up where you left off.
Okay, so I was giving Corey the rundown of Monday night, and a lot of people on Twitter and Facebook were complaining. They didn't like the direction of it. They thought that the HR director thing was lame. What's that?
I said, wait, people complain about wrestling on Twitter?
I know, right? Spoiler alert. So, the thing of it is that the girl, Ashley, is from HR. She's doing the appraisal for Kane. She's pretty much told everybody, Kane's a model employee, he's a great guy. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, is despicable and rude and blah, blah, blah. They go back and forth. They tear each other down, show video clips of what the dastardly deeds that they can do to each other. And so now it's Seth's turn to really mix it up. So he gets in the ring. He beats the crap out of Corporate King. Hits a pedigree that was ugly as I don't know what. It's time for him, by the way, to stop using the pedigree. He's going to kill somebody. I mean, Kane's lucky he's not getting
well, he almost killed Sting.
Yeah, well, the buckle bomb was not Rollins' fault. But that pedigree that he did to Kane could have killed him. I'm not sure how he managed to live through that. Anyway, he stretchers Kane, which I thought was cool. Made sense to me. The best part of it is he's in the ring, he's taking his time, running Kane down, and the ambulance stops. Now, Rollins isn't paying attention. The back of the ambulance is glowing red, which was great.
And smoke.
Door opens, smoke pours out, and out comes the Demon Kane. Now, at first, this was cool. I like this, because this is a throwback for me, and I'm digging it. At first, he's limping. He's dragging his leg, selling the Corporate Kane injury. He stops. He lifts his leg up and stomps it down, and all of a sudden, he's full Demon Kane mode, and he's heading to the ring, which is a great moment. Anybody that's liked Kane for any stretch of time knows that Kane can deliver, and he's done it consistently for years. So this is a good moment for him. Comes to the ring, beats the crap out of Seth Rollins. Rollins bails, takes the powder, bails, but leaves the belt in the ring. Kane has an awesome moment where he's holding the belt, does the four-corner fireworks pose. Pretty cool. I gotta say, I'm kind of tired of the whole, oh God, this is so predictable routine that happens with wrestling fans. I don't know what kind of things you guys are subscribing to, because nothing is predictable when you just shut your mouth and enjoy it. Or turn it off. Hey, there's a thought. Just turn it off. If it really sucks at that, because 3 million people are still watching the show. So I love the stat people come out every Tuesday. Oh, the ratings are down. 3 million people are watching every week, regardless. They're making money hand over fist, even at a 2.3. So, as much as it pains me to say that WWE and TNA's ratings, comparatively, are starting to get closer as far as the gap, how scary is that? It's nothing compared to what happens in 10 years when yet again WWE rises again. It's just how they work. So, I'm digging it the most because I like seeing the throwbacks. I like seeing the you got to have a character that's able to scare somebody and knows sell something. You can't always have everybody crawl around like they're hurt all the time. Somebody's got to make it look good. And I like what Kane did. Doesn't make Seth Rollins look great as a heel, which, he's still doing a tremendous job as a heel anyway, but I don't know. I think what WWE is doing with Kane and Seth Rollins is entertaining. What Corey mentioned, I feel awful for Sting. He didn't have to win the belt, at Night of Champions for me to be satisfied as a Sting fan. I wanted to see it happen because I'm a Sting fan, but what scared me the most was watching him stumble after that buckle bomb. And I'm glad that he's doing better, but man, it's a scary moment for a wrestling fan when you see one of your favorites just not able to function properly. It's scary and it's alarming, but I'm glad he's doing better. So I think that's a little bit.
Corey?
Yeah, it's scary about Sting. The guy's 56 years old, and he did just some stuff I wouldn't even do at 37 or 27 or 17.
I'd have did it at 17.
That way, maybe at 17. But in the interview on WWE.com, Sting puts over the fact that it was not Seth Rollins' fault.
Right.
That he said his arms and legs just kind of went limp on him. That's why you're supposed to take. That's why you're supposed to take the Viagra 4 hours before
How does this get
a sexual activity.
Actually, that was funny, Corey. I'll give you that one. Yeah, and
no, but in all seriousness, I mean, you know what?
Be serious for a minute.
If I could be serious for a second, what happens if, God forbid, something had happened to him, and like the Darren Drozdoff incident, where
that's crazy.
The guy's paralyzed, and and that stuff can happen. So
yeah, you're right.
And this is something I've got to sit back and say. We covered that interview last week on To Be Determined. And it had just really gotten up earlier in the day. 4 hours later. But there's your Viagra joke. Come back to haunt you. But
there you go.
I give credit where credit is due. I thank WWE for actually posting that up there and getting an interview done with Sting. Steve Borden is one of the consummate professionals in this industry.
Let me stop you there real quick. Just, like in my head, I'm thinking, okay, well, this interview is a damn total work. And Sting is, really, really hurt. And they're not saying, and, they put over the fact, that Seth Rollins went in there and was like, hey, I dressed up as you as Halloween. And this is cool. And thank you for, having this match with me. And so, like, in my head, I'm just, like, thinking they're BSing.
What changed your mind, or has anything changed your mind?
Just because they put it on WWE, like, just because how they were all willy-nilly about it, how they were all not saying anything, and then they put an article up about it, putting it over and putting Seth over, and I don't know, like, just the wrestling nerd in me just wants me to think it's a work.
Okay, and the wrestling nerd
thing's really not hurt.
No, that he's hurt, that they're not letting on, that he may be hurt more than what they're saying, and they just don't know yet.
I think the credibility of the interview was bolstered by Sting's management posting their information on the website and on Facebook. It wasn't just WWE trying to get good press, which, I mean, hey, this is an opportunity for them to help both put some shine to Sting, but also to Seth Rollins for being just a true professional, really, in all spaces of the game. But Sting is, and will forever be to me, one of the most loyal professionals out there. And when he finally does truly retire, I mean, agreed, first ballot Hall of Famer kind of category. You don't get much better than that guy. It's like, it's Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels. It's a no-brainer. He's going,
What you want to really, because I know like last year or 2 years ago, I was like, Sting really.
Yeah, we know. Because you're a curmudgeon. You're a curmudgeon.
And I think
old fart.
And I think kind of like it really wasn't a knock towards Sting. It was more of kind of like. Wait a minute.
It wasn't a knock towards Sting. Your direct quote. What has he done?
Yeah, but what? Yeah, but what has he done since WCW? He was in TNA.
What did Booker T do since WCW? Booker T's his career alone in WCW should have put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but Booker T is the five-time WCW champion. Okay,
wait a minute. Hold on.
Let
me go ahead. I've got to do this. And there are people that are going to really be mad about what I'm about to say. When Sting went to TNA, he helped keep that damn company afloat. Because you had people going through situations that were giving that company a black eye left and right.
Yeah, but he didn't work house shows.
So
he was
what?
Making $500,000 a year.
Oh, what a coincidence! The fans didn't either.
Yeah, really. Now, to which I say, so what? Look, I understand the concept of his wanting to be. He's earned his right to call his shot.
I agree.
He with the last day of WCW when or the last show that he worked in WCW when he wrestled with that Flair in that horrible match, because Flair should not have been in the ring to begin with on that occasion.
Which Flair admits.
Sting earned the right to call his shots. Look, I'm tired. I've just got through with this run with WCW. I'm burned on a lot of things. Sure, I'll come work television. I'll work pay-per-views. I'll do what I can where I can. But right now, I want to spend time with my family.
I'll work a drug-induced Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, he saved that situation. If it had not been for the fact that Sting is a professional and a ring general, he could have let Jeff Hardy go on and probably crack his neck. But no, he said, this ain't happening. Scorpion Death Drop, 1, 2, 3, title shift, bye-bye.
Hey, he did the right thing, and he made sure that Jeff Hardy did business.
Yeah.
You can't disrespect that.
No, you can't, not in the least. He helped keep that company afloat through some really funky times. Because God knows people like Jeff Hardy were giving TNA a black eye up one side and down the other. Now, you had some real pros in TNA, all the way from start to finish. All the way to right now.
That black eye came from him not paying his dope dealer.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
But see, here's the thing. Sting can only do so much. AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, Eric Young, they can only do so much. James Storm can only do so much. But you also, and for Sting to have persevered the situation with Hogan and what's his name, Hogan and Bischoff being in there, which was the biggest abortion in this business. I'm sorry. For Hogan to have any kind of creative control in a situation where he's calling the shots for a company, that is career suicide for a corporation. Hogan is best when he is on-camera talent, and let it go at that.
Yeah, I mean, they were desperate. They needed a shot in the arm. They thought that Hogan could put them up where they wanted to be. They were wrong. Hogan was wrong. I mean, everybody had delusions of grandeur at that point.
Look, TNA was nowhere near ready for a Monday night run.
No, but that's not also just on Hogan, though. That's also on Bischoff.
And Dixie Carter.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, it's all 100%. You know, let's get off this subject. We're drudging up old stuff, like an ex-old wife. You know, you two should know.
Shots
Corey's
fired
on a Full Metal Jacket tonight.
Nah, brother, it's hollow points.
Funny. No, but bringing it back full circle, and I'm going to sit back and there are people who are going to disagree with what I say on this one right now. Seth Rollins has got to be, with the exception of that bit last night on Raw, a genuine MVP 2015 for WWE. Because
I think last night's efforts on Raw, it just helps to solidify him as a character. You got to remember, this is the same guy that in WrestleMania 31 when he's winning the title, his biggest moment of his career thus far, still takes the time to thank Roman Reigns? Come on, how many guys are going to do that?
It's a work.
So what?
But that's what I'm saying. How many professionals do that?
Hey, Stan. Hey, guys. Let me get this show to a screeching halt. I want to personally thank Stan Grubb for the 5 years of him doing WrestleRage. Even when he abandoned ship, even when he went to this very ring, and he came back, and he deleted Twitter.
No.
And he came
I
back.
fired you.
I
fired you.
Thank you.
I fired you.
Thank you. I thank you.
I fired you.
I thank you. And I thank you.
Listen here, tons of fun. I fired you.
Thank you. And I want those pictures of Ass Girl back.
I never got them. You never sent them to me.
She's a mother now, so.
Pepperoni, baby. Pepperoni.
Love me some pepperoni nipples.
So I'm about to say somebody left a pie in the window, huh?
Yeah, buddy.
Ooh, Lord.
Okay.
This is WrestleRage, boy.
No, it ain't WrestleRage. It's Beyond Ringside, biznitch.
Dang! They brought the kids a baby or something like that.
WrestleRage is Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Tuesday night. This is BR Back to Basics, the 10 count.
And it's on Sunday nights when the producer is not producing another show or a bar mitzvah or a
Sweet 16 birthday party.
Live DJ gig.
Yeah.
Zig Heil.
Dollars, dude. Yeah, you said Zig Heil. Guess what? Heil cash flow.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Oh. Corey's all about the dollar bills.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, 8 minutes before the top of the hour, slated to be joined by a good friend of the family, Shane Knowles from Peach State Wrestling Alliance in just a few minutes. Real quick, and tell you what, as we get ready to take it to the top of the hour, the tradition on BR is to go around the horn, so to speak, topics, thoughts, questions, all of the above, and they were referred to as those 2 letters or 2 words, and I'll start with Stan Grubb. Last call.
It's always a pleasure to join my good, close personal friend, Eddie Layne.
Whoa, brother. Whoa.
You know, I mean, I hate not being on the air with you guys. I really hate not being on the air with you guys. It drives me insane.
Can I tell you what? It's been a pleasure not having you on the air the last month.
Don't make me fire you again.
That's okay. Eddie will
Paul
come.
Heyman has your contract in hand. He's reviewing it for loopholes.
Eddie will come produce my other show since he's the owner of the station.
This very chin brought to you by Corey.
See.
What are you going to do? This very lonely guy in his mom's basement? I mean, is that what you're going to call me now? I mean, I've got all the jokes. They're all mine. So, I mean, whatever. Look, if you want to send donations to the Send Stan on Vacation Fund, you can PayPal it. And you can also hit me up on Twitter at FightGrubFight.
Yeah, when did you change the Twitter thing, you Nimrod, and not tell me?
Hold on one second. Now that it's like officially over, should it be like lose Grubb lose?
What is it that Cena's shirt had? Just give up.
Just give up.
Give up, Grubb.
Or what was it? The other version of the shirt for Corey never shuts up.
Oh,
that's okay. I'm over it. Brother.
I mean,
brother.
I don't mind taking a little bit of beating every now and again. I mean,
well,
but you fight for the things that you got to fight for, man. You know, sometimes you get knocked down, and as Scott Hall said, how about you get back up? You know, how many times you get back up?
Fight for the right of every man. I am
a real American.
I am a real American.
I'm not tearing my shirt off, though, because I kind of like this shirt.
Thank you.
I'm not tearing it off.
This is radio. Nobody would see it, but that's a mental picture we don't want.
Wow. Thanks, buddy.
Got pepperoni nipples.
Smarkrage.
Why are you looking at my nipples, man? That's uncomfortable.
Smarky, last call.
Last call with Scott Hall, folks. This is Smarkrage, formerly of WrestleRage Radio on Sunday night.
Brought to you by this very chin.
Speaking about this very chin, I had some Chinese food tonight. You see, Chinese food. Jeez.
Oh my God. Yep, here it comes.
We're waiting.
They're coming to get us.
What is something Stan's not going to hear for a while? For 1,000. Alex.
Ouch. Ouch.
So, I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. It should be fun. I'm just looking forward to some good wrestling. Another thing. I know we got to run and.
You got to run too.
They're like this on Sundays too, kids. They really
That's why
are.
they love us.
Folks, wrestlers, wrestling fans,
friends,
Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Oh, lend you $1.
let me tell you something, brothers. Okay,
brother.
You gotta
tell them something now.
It's your cue to finish a sentence, Corey.
So here you go. So the other day,
screw the finish again.
That's why she left you.
Oh
wow!
So over the weekends, I think somewhere in Texas, a drunk wrestling fan, climbed into a wrestling ring,
dumbass,
and friggin' clubbed the damn wrestler. And the referee was just like looked at the guy and was just like, "What do I do?" And then the wrestler, got off the guy, beat the fan's ass. Guys, if you're not in the wrestling, if you're not part of the show, keep your ass out of the ring. Eddie, you've been to shows. You were with 2 weeks ago when you were here in Atlanta,
right?
I could go to the wrestling show and get into it and boo the heel, cheer the baby, get into it. I hate you. You suck. You this. Your mother. You're fat. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I have never, in all my years as being an adult, ever get close to good. You missed that, didn't you? Never thought about climbing into the wrestling ring, to try to.
That's because you can't reach it.
Oh, I can get in. I whipped the Mexican in a wrestling ring before, but it's not racism. It was wrestling.
You're such a dork. Finish up, man. He's got to get this Shane Knowles. We're taking up his time.
Nobody wants. Nah, Shane, I love you. Well,
had to say.
Shane's my buddy. He's my pal.
Close personal friend.
Close. Long time. Close personal friend. But stay out of the ring. And another thing, quit complaining about on Twitter. If you want me to believe that you're like a pro wrestler, don't talk about your real job on social media, and then get pissed when nobody wants to buy into the short you're selling.
Amen to
that. David Starr's coming into town Sunday. Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. Him and Cedric Alexander. Should be cool. Don't know much about the guy. Seriously, are you breaking into your ex-wife's house?
Yep, crowbar and everything.
Sweet. So, folks, for the Midnight Black Mass, this is Reverend Mark Wilson.
You just can't let it. You just can't get it well enough alone. Son of a bitch.
Listen. Okay. For real, for the Dark City Fight Club.
Yeah, really?
this Corey.
Okay, folks, real quick, we're going to go to the top of the hour. Stan, real quick, how can everybody find you on social?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Fight Grub Fight, because I'm here to stir it up. And you can
until she
on
takes
Facebook.
Until she takes half of your Twitter followers.
God, I saw that coming. Continue, Stan.
Can that happen?
I don't know. I think my lawyer's better than that.
Can I pick and choose who she gets?
No.
You could send her.
Y'all both get,
You could have her follow Angela.
y'all get joint custody of SATA.
Oh, God help us. Cut us off, Eddie. It's about to get sick.
Smarkrage, how can everybody find you on social quick?
You could find me on social media at the Blacklist Uno.
Come on, dipstick. And, of course, at WrestleRage BR over on Twitter. WrestleRage Radio with Smarkrage and Stan Percent. The Wrestling Manifesto is on Facebook. And Corey's actually over on MySpace as Mercedes Casanova, drag queen stripper. Folks, thank you.
And if you send me a message, I'll let you touch my titty.
There you go. You sick bastard. Corey, Stan, always a pleasure. Folks, we're headed to the top of the hour break. We'll be back on Back to Basics.
Hold on one second.
Hurry.
For the Dark City Fight Club, I'll see you Sunday night.
Thank you. Hang with us. Back to Basics rolls on right after this.
Hey, everybody. This is Casey Carlisle, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is Angel Orsini.
This is the Human Hand Grenade, Danny Only.
This is Dirty Dutch Mantel.
This is Liz Savage.
This is Vinny O'Brien, 2010 Golden Glove champion. This is Gabe Sapolsky from Dragon Gate USA and Evolve Pro Wrestling, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Set and ready to go. Hour 3, so to speak. Hour 3, hour we. No, I don't have a video game system here. Actually, I have a PS2 around here somewhere in Studio One. I think one of the associates is using it somehow or another right now. Yeah, I know. I keep telling myself that I'm going to get a PS4 or something of that ilk, and I just have never gotten around to doing it. The Evil Empire, for as much as I hate spending money there, has actually started their layaway program. So I have a feeling I may just put one on layaway. Either that or I'm just going to put a 60-inch TV. Something new for Studio One. I kind of like that concept. Turn the money back into more gear. That's what I always do. Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics, live on this Tuesday night, September 29, 2015. We're 11 minutes after the top of the hour. I had a feeling that we might try to cover a couple of these. Unfortunately, we kept getting distracted during the first hour of the show tonight. Good friends up at Chikara Pro Wrestling have two great events on the horizon. 9 days away, Friday, October the 9th, Chikara presents Colony Collapse. The Season 15 tour goes back to the Big Apple in the midst of the New York Comic-Con. Wow. Stage 48, 605 West 48th Street, Manhattan, New York. Already slated in the... Boy, any other time, I could just get it right the first time around. The Arcane Horde takes on Hallowicked, Frightmare, and Blind Rage. Soldier Ant and Piki Sanchez take on Worker Ant and Amasis. Princess Kimberly and Los Ice Creams versus Chuck Taylor, Drew Gulak, and the Swamp Monster. Shinron takes on Mr. Touchdown and Knockin' versus, I hope I pronounced that right, versus our good friend Juan Francisco de Coronado. You knew I had to try to get the pronunciation correct. And in Haverhill, Massachusetts, on Saturday, October the 10th, only 10 days away, at St. Joseph's School, Chikara presents The Ocean Walker, already slated to take place. Matches including Blaster McMassive taking on Mr. Azerbaijan. I hope I got that right. Mr. Touchdown takes on Drew Gulak. Dasher Hatfield versus Knockin'. Obarian and Kadama take on Los Ice Creams. And you know there's going to be more on the way. So for our friends in the northeastern U.S., in New York and in Massachusetts, October 9 and October 10 respectively, definitely check it out. Chikara Pro Wrestling. Coming up on the horizon, this coming Thursday, Insane Championship Wrestling returns to Metal Grill, 5036 South Packard Avenue in Cudahy, Wisconsin, 7:15 start time. Check out facebook.com/ICW Milwaukee. Definitely check it out for Insane Championship Wrestling. Also this Thursday, October the 1st, Canadian Wrestling's Elite at Soros and Glenwood Memorial Complex, 32 3rd Avenue, or 32 3rd Avenue West, Soros, Manitoba, 7 p.m. local time start time. Oh, hold on. Let me slide over here and click this little button. And I will also sit back and say, this coming Friday night, our good friends at Pro South Wrestling, 627 Southern Avenue in Piedmont, Alabama, 7 p.m. start time. Special hello to all of our friends over in Piedmont. Always great to talk to you. Always great to see you. And one of these days, I promised Ace Haven that I would manage to take I work 2 jobs on a Friday. I have one job that runs from 11:30 to 7:45 p.m. Then I fly like a bat out of hell down to Buffalo Wild Wings in Alabaster to get ready to host karaoke from 9 o'clock until closing time. It's hard for me to get someone to cover one job, much less 2. So I told Ace, if they ever have a Saturday special event on a day when I'm free, I'm going to come out to Pro South. I swear to you this. And originally slated during our 7:30, our first and second hours this evening, we're going to run it for a full hour. Originally slated tonight, Ace Haven was actually looking to orchestrate a Pro South Originals roundtable here on BR Back to Basics. And I didn't mention this earlier. I'm mentioning it now. And due to extenuating circumstances, we're actually postponing that for a couple of weeks. We've got a lot of things in play. And they've with scheduling in place, Ace felt it was best to go ahead and put everything on hold for a little while because they've had a lot of things happening at Pro South. So he figured, in the best interest of the storylines and the programs and everything they're doing at Pro South, he wants to go ahead and put that on hold where it would actually be able to tie in a little bit better with some of the current happenings. And I can respect that 100%, because one of the things, we do interviews and we have guests on, and when they have something going on, particularly upcoming events and appearances, we always want to try to make sure that everything's put together in a timely manner. And if there is a storyline in particular that somebody's trying to make sure to keep emphasis on, I don't want to do anything here on this product or any of the BR products or any of the family shows in the family. We always want to make sure to help keep continuity in place. So when everything comes together and situations work out, we're definitely going to have that Pro South roundtable. Tell you what, like to welcome in good friend of the family, as well as, and I said this earlier, it was originally supposed to start this past Saturday, but thanks to, I guess, Alabama Power not always on, or something with Mother Nature, or maybe a terrorist attack, I don't effing know. The Beyond Ringside Saturday Showcase Shooters Gallery was supposed to return this past Saturday morning, but thanks to the power being out here at the studio, we couldn't do it. But like to welcome in he who will be joining me this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. He is the president of the Peach State Wrestling Alliance, Mr. Shane Knoll. Shane, what's up, buddy?
Fast Eddie Layne, how are you, sir?
Chaos, as usual.
Well, I wanted to mention, fresh off a night of useless trivia here at Locomex in Jacksonville, Alabama, parlaying into you being an Alabama fan, as well as the power difficulties this past weekend. Had a team name tonight. Georgia seems to have a lot of blackouts. Looks like they need a dose of Alabama power this weekend. I figured that'd top you.
That's nice. That's nice. If you ever get a trivia team in there called the Ringside Roundtable, you better shoot them, unless it's me leading the charge. Now, real quick before we get into everything going on, what was your final trivia question tonight?
The final trivia question was a Hollywood list bonus. There are 10 animated characters or groups that have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 8 of them are individual animated characters. The other 2 are animated groups or families. Go.
Well, I know that a lot of them are going to be Hanna-Barbera, Walt Disney, Warner Brothers, and I'm trying to remember, I think Hanna-Barbera is actually Tom and Jerry, isn't it?
Tom and Jerry do not have a star, actually.
I thought for sure Tom and Jerry would have had a star. Okay, I know Bugs Bunny has one.
Correct, and don't feel bad on Tom and Jerry. Out of the 9 teams playing, 6 did put them on their list.
Yeah, you would think they would because of what they've meant to the animation industry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Peter Pan has been both live action and animation. However, I would say Tinkerbell would be one of them.
Tinkerbell is correct, along with Bugs Bunny.
Mickey
for 3.
Okay, Mickey Mouse.
Correct.
I'm not sure, but I want to say Donald has one of his own.
Ditto.
Scooby-Doo.
Incorrect.
Yogi Bear.
Incorrect.
Wow. Yogi doesn't have a star.
Does not.
And you said 2 of them were families?
2 were groups or families, yes.
Okay, I have to be careful because I know that a lot of the original Sid and Marty Krofft Super Show was live action. It was not animation. So Puff and Stuff, Dr. Shrinker, Electra One, and Dinah Girl do not qualify in that because they were live action, not animation. But as far as groups go?
Groups or families, more recent.
Squidbillies?
They should, though.
I want to say Space Ghost is in there.
Is not, actually.
Wow. Because I know of all the different ones. I mean, it's like Underdog has got to be there.
Is not.
Where are the classics when you need them?
I know.
Because I know Yosemite... Okay, with Bugs Bunny being there, you know Daffy Duck and Yosemite Sam are not.
Are not, correct.
Right. Okay, do me a favor. Run them down for me. I'm in an impasse right now. I need some more time to think about it.
The two groups or families are Rugrats and The Simpsons.
Should have thought about The Simpsons. I would not have gotten the Rugrats.
Let's see. The individual characters: Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Tinkerbell, Woody Woodpecker.
Thank you.
Bugs Bunny, Shrek.
Didn't think of Shrek.
And I'm drawing a blank now because I don't have the list in front of me.
That's quite okay.
Oh, Porky Pig. My apologies.
See, that's the weird part because I would have assumed that because okay, you said Daffy was not on there.
No Daffy, Yosemite Sam, Marvin the Martian, all withheld. Nope.
Okay, wait a minute. I have to do this, and I'm going to get in deep crap for doing it. You said Marvin the Martian is not on there. That makes me very angry. Where's the kaboom? Where's the earth-shattering kaboom? Okay. Had to get that.
You mentioned Scooby-Doo. I'm also shocked with the Flintstones.
Yeah, I was actually going to say the Flintstones, but I'm sitting back going, it's got to be because they're iconic. And I've got to ask this question. Before we get into it, I want to go ahead and lay this one out there. How many times on your timeline have you seen the graphic, Ginger or Mary Ann, you pick?
Oh, several.
Does that question...
It's almost like Coke or Pepsi. There's no middle ground.
No, there's not. You can't say both people. It's kind of like in my home state in Alabama, you have to declare Alabama or Auburn. You can't be middle ground.
Yeah.
The only way you can get away with that before this year was saying UAB.
Correct. Yeah, if you see somebody who breaks out of South Alabama or Stillman, you know they're actually a true fan.
Yeah. Or if they're wearing Jacksonville or Troy, too.
True, yeah.
Yeah, I can think of some Division I schools that are scared of Jacksonville State University right now.
I know one on the plains. Yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah, that's something. And one of the things we're going to be doing on Saturday Showcase is we're going to hold true to the fashion. Of course, the original three-man team for Saturday Showcase was myself, Robert Cosper, and Ryan Adcock. And we're going to hold true to that formula when it comes to this coming Saturday because we're going to do a little bit of everything. A little bit of football, a little bit of baseball, a little bit of basketball, a little bit of wrestling, all of the above, maybe entertainment. Shane has consented to bring on some previous rounds of trivia questions that are probably going to be some really good brain busters.
I hope so.
And it's like sitting back and I'm my brain is running animation domination through my head, and I'm really surprised that the Flintstones weren't there and the Simpsons are.
Yeah, I think probably as we go along, I can imagine the Flintstones getting one, possibly the Jetsons, maybe even the Griffins from Family Guy.
Right. Now I would assume that the Flintstones and the Jetsons would get there long before the Griffins would.
You would think, yeah.
Yeah, but in this day and age with pop culture the way it is, you've got more people who genuinely understand, damn you, veiled woman, than you do, yabba dabba doo.
Much to the chagrin of Mike Posey, Marco, America, Nina Monet, the Get Along Gang does not have a star.
They're not animated yet.
True.
Although I've watched Posey's interviews, he's a little bit his promos. He's a lot more animated now than he was in previous days.
Yeah, true. One team gave me the Muppets, and I said, "Well, they're not animated unless we're talking in baby's form."
True, very true. And they had their new show on ABC television. Of course, tonight was the return of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC TV. DVR'd that. Going to be going back and watching that a little bit later on in the evening.
Yes, I have the Muppets DVR'd as well. Very excited to see them back on television, even though I know there's no Jim Henson influence. It hasn't been that way for 25 years. So for me, as a longtime Muppet fan, I've gotten accustomed to that different. But, I mean, they keep it so well with the pop culture references and the little inside jokes that I think go over the head of small children, which That's what I've always thought, and this is where I come out as a hardcore Jim Henson mark. Sesame Street was intended for kids. When the Muppet Show came on, it was a variety show that aired in prime time.
Right.
The original pilot episode title was Sex and Violence. Like, it wasn't intended for children.
Yeah, the Primetime Muppet Show was something that, okay, you can take the risk and plant your kids in front of the TV for 30 minutes, or you can sit back and say, this is us time, kids, go away. But it's,
right.
But, Mommy, it's Kermit. Yeah, right.
I'll hit you with, this made me think, this was a question probably 6 months ago. Who was the only cast member of the actual Muppet Babies, now not counting Nanny, the disembodied head,
right?
Who was the only member of the Muppet Babies that has never been seen in actual Muppet puppet form?
I don't know.
That would be Scooter's sister, Skeeter. Only appearance on Muppet Babies.
Did not. I know who you're talking about because I remember watching Muppet Babies once or twice. Look, in the current realm of PC cartoons, and granted, Adult Swim doesn't really wash in my book, unless of course it's Robot Chicken. Then that's still priceless in my book.
Oh, Seth Green, love what he does with that show.
Exactly. I mean, the only thing missing from that, they should actually bring back Celebrity Deathmatch during Robot Chicken.
Do a little crossover.
Yeah, I think that'd be a beautiful thing. Because God knows that everybody got a kick and a boost out of Celebrity Deathmatch. You get on Celebrity Deathmatch, that is one of those moments of arrival. Which
I think you've made it if you're being parodied in that form.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, they turned around and did Stone Cold, Triple H, The Rock, and a number of WWE superstars, and I think that their parody of Triple H on there was priceless, and I think Hunter actually did his own voice.
I think you did. You're right.
Yeah. A lot of people never did their own voice, but of course, being in that realm, Austin, I think, did his own voice a couple of times. Rock did his voice. A lot of the WWE and pro wrestling stars did their own voices. I don't think Hogan did his own voice, but I think a lot of the others did. I bring up the word arrival a little while ago, and I'm going to turn that to you in the form of a question. As a promoter, there is a point in time where you have a show where the stars line up overhead and in the ring. And when you hear the reaction and the crowd is there physically, emotionally, and mentally there from bell to bell, start to finish, and you have that moment of arrival as a promoter, is there one show in particular that you can just sit back and say, yeah, that was my night to put it together?
Well, not to boast or humble brag, I could think of a couple over the course of 7 years that may fit the bill. That description, things that come to mind, the very first Battle Bowl show.
I remember that.
In 2012, taking a very unique and often forgotten gimmick from WCW. I don't have to explain what Battle Bowl is. Google it, kids. But I mean, doing that first night, the intrigue and, just the questions of how all this is going to work. As far as the show itself, there were some bumps in the road. I think we've certainly adapted the format better. But that first night, packing in over 430 people for Battle Bowl, and I would dare say 80% of the audience didn't really know what they were in for. But as far as a show from bell to bell that has just clicked, I'm going to say this. The anniversary show in 2012, where a good friend of ours, the Wicked Nemesis, was involved in a match with yours truly, and you were the special guest ring announcer that night.
I remember that night.
The legitimate heat that night for 5-on-5 in the ring in War Games, that was just something very special. And, of course, the undercard, I thought a lot of it delivered and really set the stage for the main event.
I remember that night from start to finish. I still have a lot of it on video over here, and I don't know if you ever saw it or not, but I did post the video from that War Games from the BR Cam. And I still have the original video of that also, if you'd like a copy of it. I mean, from a different perspective, because I know I shot it from the stage side.
Love to. Yeah, and there's been a couple of shows this year where the booker, Rick Michaels, and myself just take a step back and say, everybody busted their asses tonight. The booking was solid. People popped. They reacted. It was just there's not anything to nitpick and say, well, we should have done this. And what's great about that is those are just what you would consider some normal shows, none of the big signature events, but everything just fell into place.
And that's something that I genuinely can appreciate from both inside or from both sides of the fence, because, having the position that I do, and I'm blessed and fortunate that things have happened with BR to where the notoriety is gained in more than the southeastern U.S. Thank God. Having made trips to Columbus, Ohio, North Carolina, Texas, Florida, Tennessee, all around the southeastern U.S., but as far out as Texas and as far north as Ohio, because of the momentum that we've all built on this show and this series. And I hate using the word series, but it's true. That's pretty much what we've turned it into. And I get to watch it from a number of different perspectives. And I still flash back to that War Games night, and I also flash back to that Lethal Lottery Battle Bowl. And seriously, kids, if you're not familiar with the concept, Battle Bowl, the Lethal Lottery, look it up. Google, Yahoo, Ask, Bing, whatever. It's a unique idea that WCW put into play, and when for those who listen to the show for a long time, especially BR Live Sunday nights, when we found out about Battle Bowl, the first thing was, I want to see this. I want to see how they do this. I want to see if it's going to hold to form. I want to see if it's going to be a pure tribute to the way things were done. I want to see what kind of spin Shane's going to put on this. And from start to finish, bell to bell, he's absolutely right. This was a show that continues to stick out in my mind in a positive way, and I still flash back to that. I wish I had a copy of it.
We'll get you one this Saturday.
Were you taping during that era?
We were, actually. Yeah, we were using we were using Tony Calhoun at the time. And since March of 2014, his first night in, David Pierce with Pierce Productions has been on board ever since. And his first night was the Jeff Hardy show, so we really kind of threw him to the wolves, so to speak, on that first night. But David had been doing it for a long time, several promotions across the Southeast. And he's a good hand.
Yeah.
Knows what he's doing.
He really is. He really is. I just remember that one night, I think it was the EC3 show that Ethan Carter III came in, and we were trying to figure out a camera angle to get up and over all the people that were sitting on the stage. I was one of the ones jumping up and down going, we can't get a good camera angle, and I can't see what's happening in the ring. Shoot to kill. But that's just me. Now, this coming Saturday, October the 3rd, of course, long-time, regular listeners are going to know. We've had a discussion about, Shane's been on with us before, and we've talked a little bit about this card. We've dropped hints about it. He's been kind enough to give us exclusives as the series has progressed. And as October 3rd is here, it's going to be an absolute the Peach State is going to have, Peach State in the Peach State. There's a phrase that I really want to use right there, but I'm going to let it go. But this Saturday night in Carrollton, y'all make the return to the historic VFW Fairgrounds on Bankhead Highway. Now, is this a one-night wonder, or is this a return for the season?
For now, it is a one-night return. Scheduling conflict with the Central Elementary School, which has been our venue for since April the 18th. They have their annual fall festival for kids, and it just seemed right. We knew this about a month and a half before the entire card got put together. But I would say this, even if there wasn't a scheduling conflict, I would be very tempted to move this one back to the fairgrounds with everything that's on tap.
Let's go ahead and run it down, start to finish, the full card for this coming Saturday night. Main event, or one part of the main event, actually, I should say. International wrestling star, ROH superstar Cedric Alexander in action, taking on a man who has been voted the best technical wrestler in Georgia on more than one occasion, Kyle Matthews. Shane?
What a match. I mean, I think we've talked about this before. If you're a true fan of the art of pro wrestling, I'm not sure it's going to get any better around the state than Cedric Alexander and Kyle Matthews. Kyle Matthews being homegrown from Austell, Georgia. People know him. He's gotten his name out, not just in Georgia, in the Carolinas as well. Cedric Alexander, well-traveled. And I don't think these two have had a singles encounter. I think they have worked tags a little bit over the years, but this is their first singles encounter, and both men have an opportunity This is for the number one contender for the PWA Heritage title. That match will take place October the 17th. And for anyone who may think, they know what the outcome is going to be, Cedric Alexander has committed to Peach State for October the 17th, should he be victorious this Saturday.
Nice. Former TNA star and international wrestling star, the Priest of Pain, Michael Judas, making his Peach State debut. And he'll be taking on the crown jewel of professional wrestling, Jimmy Rave.
Heritage title is not on the line. This is a $1,000 bounty match placed on Jimmy's head by one Al Getz. He has made it his life's mission to not only take the Heritage title out from around the waist of Jimmy Rave, but to take him out of Peach State. Al thinks that Jimmy maybe has gotten a little bit too big for his britches and trying to bring some of that international seasoning, and he said that doesn't fly here in Georgia. And what better way, I don't, what Al Getz may have in the cards, but, starting out with someone who's 6'7" and got into TNA as well. I mean, Michael Judas is a physically imposing wrestler.
Promises to be a great matchup. It really does. And when there's money involved and somebody's head's on the line, so to speak, somebody's shooting to end a career, trust me, I know Jimmy Rave. I've watched him for a while. Jimmy Rave can go nose to nose with Michael Judas in that particular regard, especially when the operative word is survival, right?
Correct. I was going to say Jimmy may have faced something along these lines back in May when he took on the near 400-pound Jeter. Jeter threw him around like a rag doll, pillar to post, around the ring, and Jimmy only got maybe a few moves of offense towards the finish, but it was enough to finish off the big man. But I've rarely seen Jimmy Rave take a beating, the likes of which he took from Jeter, and I would imagine that Michael Judas is not coming in very passively this Saturday.
I doubt that in the league. I know he's not coming in passive. There's money involved. That can be a new cross. That can be a new gold cross for the Priest of Punishment. No limit scramble match with the winner getting a match against P-Dog Mike Posey. The French sensation Romeo versus the King of the VIP Fry Daddy versus Kevin Blute versus Ryan Vega.
Yeah, 4 interesting people in this match, all of them with an opportunity to wrestle P-Dog later on the card this Saturday. You do not have to wait 2 weeks. You do not have to wait a month. That match will take place this Saturday as a bonus. P-Dog will have to take on the winner, actually at the conclusion of the scramble. So you're looking at it, however long that scramble match goes, it is single elimination all the way down. If you are fortunate enough to be victorious, you're facing arrested Mike Posey immediately.
Tag team championships will be on the line. Simon Sermon and Dusty McWilliams taking on Ace Haven and Charles Zanders.
Out of all the matches this Saturday, that's the one I think could be feast or famine, so to speak. That match has potential to be great. I think it's going to be good, but it has potential to be great. Charles Zanders, Ace Haven, these two have been working together ever since they were told they were getting a tag team title shot, and I know this for a fact because I was at Pro South this past Friday, a little instant scoop. Actually got to make it. I had the same quandary as you do as far as with the job. Ace has always tried to get me down there. I've only been able to make it twice in the last 3 years, but able to get off work early this Friday and headed down. He didn't even know I was coming, but what was amazing, after the show, he and Xanders were working on stuff a good 30, 45 minutes at the conclusion of the show, getting ready for this Saturday.
Looking forward to it. The Reflection of Perfection, Tyson Dean in action this coming Saturday night, taking on the feature presentation, Jeff Lewis.
Yeah, Tyson Dean has won the adulation of the crowd. I think they wanted him to be a babyface, and he's certainly given it to them. He has seen that associating himself with Al Getz has not been fruitful for his career. However, the contract Al Getz holds him to is for the conclusion of the year, December 31st. So it's almost like Tyson is handcuffed, so to speak. He can't be his own man because he is still under the control of one Al Getz, regardless of whether he likes it or not. But you better not focus too much, I would think, on Al Getz, because Jeff Lewis is one tough customer from the NWA Anarchy days.
In a match that a lot of people are paying some very close attention to, Sal Renaro taking on Stupid.
That is the very essence of what I was talking about with the tag team match. I know that match will be good. It has potential to be great because when Stupid has his working shoes on, so to speak, He can go toe-to-toe with anyone that's ever been on the roster at Peach State. And I think, knowing the caliber of Sal Renaro, I think he definitely will.
Now, I know that you've got a situation going on with Tommy Too Much right now, and I know he's been a little bit steamed about current things that are happening because he and a couple of other people are genuinely feeling neglected, overlooked, and unappreciated. I'll get that word right in a minute, different tense. You know, me and the English language, we've met, but not very often.
You broke bread before.
There you go. We've broken wind, too. But still, meanwhile, right over the head of the midget. And, excuse me, little person.
Let
there
out
you
the
go.
old Bronx cheer.
There you go. Nice.
Cushion days. There we go.
Nice. Now, I've got to ask, what's in store? I mean, I know, like I said, Tommy is in that frame of mind, and I'm not taking up for him. You know me better than that. But by the same token, I know that he's been pitching a royal fit, so to speak, because he feels a little bit overlooked going into this show. And is there something on the agenda, or are you going to hold that for a surprise?
I can tell you that the last event, he came out when I was making the announcements for October the 3rd, and he said, there you go again, overlooking guys like myself and the part of the original faction. He said, I didn't hear you say one thing about us. And he said, let me ask you this, am I booked on this card? I said, no, you do not have a match. He said, that doesn't surprise me. Impromptu on the spot, pulled out a $10 bill, shoved it down my polo shirt, and said, I want to purchase a front row seat for October the 3rd because I want to see these new acquisitions up close and first person. And, you know, what really got the heat is when he turned around and said, so that's right, Shane Knowles, you can sit me next to any of these inbred, idiotic, redneck retards, but if they touch me, they're done. So I think he will have his own special security for his own front row seat this Saturday.
He just special like that, isn't he?
He is. Special is a good word to describe Tommy Too Much, but I can say that I do have something for him. What would you say? An answer to his worries, because I certainly understand his position where he may feel overlooked, but I think Tommy Too Much is doing some of the best work of his career at Peach State now. With it ever since last fall into now, he's been his own man. He's certainly shown what he can do in the ring, and I think sometimes he was handicapped being a member of the Exotic Ones without truly getting to show his true potential.
Something just hit me, and I have a present for you that if I can ever get it out of storage, because it's already sued me for neglect twice. And folks, I'm going to just do this on air. Shane does not know that I'm going to say this, so I'm going to bring this up on air. This has been used in two different promotions. This is something that I have taken pride in the fact that I had a friend of mine, Mike Headley, formerly longtime friend, and a lot of pro wrestling fans of the old school will know the name Mike Marvel. He appeared on TBS and on Continental and Southeastern, here in our home market as well as across the country. He actually put together for me, and if I'd have thought of this sooner, we'd have thought about it on air. I have a 7-foot by 4 foot by 3.5 foot cage.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I really think if he's that worried, I could actually find a way to bring that cage to Carrollton and give him his own nice, quiet, all by himself seat inside that cage.
I think that is a splendid idea, because what I've known is there going to be some police tape or perhaps some purple velvet cushioned off movie theater style.
Really?
Red carpet to chain him in, but I think a cage would be even better.
Let me see if I can get this out of storage. Let me see if Schmitke's truck will hold this coming over, and we might just try to sneak it into the night. So for everybody listening, you may have just gotten another scoop here on Back to Basics, the 10 count tonight.
I could say that Tommy Too Much, though, with that front row seat, I did make one plea bargain. I said, if you're going to buy a front row, then you at least have to go over and visit the award-winning concession stand. So
there you go. And I will go ahead and let you know this one now. Oh, before we go any further, let me go ahead and do this. And by the way, like I said, I'm sorry for putting it on the spot talking about the cage, but it just hit me like that.
No, love it.
Before we go any further, I do want to go ahead and bring up, there are some very special guests who are coming out. The Real Deal AJ Steele and Calm Like a Bomb Pandora. In the middle of an F5 inside the squared circle recently, thanks to current events happening in the state of Georgia, and you have been kind enough to offer them an open microphone this coming Saturday night.
Yeah, as if October 3rd couldn't get any bigger without AJ Styles and Pandora in the equation. I think the card certainly speaks for itself. But now, like you said, one of those situations that just has dropped on your lap. The West Georgia area loves them some Pandora and some AJ Styles.
Oh, God,
they
yes.
want the platform to voice their displeasure, but I talked to AJ and Pandora, and I think it's not going to just be a bashing of UIW. That's not what they're there for this Saturday, and both of them have different agendas, not necessarily as a team.
Yeah, because we've talked to AJ Steele, and actually you were on the interview on the To Be Determined show when AJ revealed the fact that, you know, a microphone is great and wonderful, but if he shows up somewhere, somebody's going to get their ass kicked. So I know AJ. I would have security on high alert this coming Saturday night.
Might need a cage for AJ Steele.
I don't know if a cage will hold him. And Pandora, you know, if there is someone within 50 who wants to try their hand against somebody the caliber of Pandora, you call Shane Knowles right now. Plain and simple.
We'll line you on up.
Exactly. And that's a situation where it's definitely going to be a furniture row match, because you better kick back, strap yourself in, and grab yourself something from the award-winning concession stand. However, how much are tickets?
$10 across the board for this Saturday.
There's no price increase this weekend, kids. There's no
More
price.
bang for your buck.
Exactly.
I think what's really stood out to people, the fan base has kind of been conditioned to know that in March, Battle Bowl is a big event. In June, the anniversary show, big event. Saturday after Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving turmoil, big event. Saturday after Christmas, Christmas chaos, 4 signature events each year on the Peach State calendar. And it's almost like we've dropped October the 3rd in the middle of all this as just, whoa, hey, what's going on? We're not conditioned to this.
Yeah. It's looking good. Doors going to open what time?
Doors open at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, with a bell time sharp, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Special start time because with so much on tap. Definitely don't want the fans to get out of there at midnight, but I can't promise that. Who knows? I mean, there's so many different dynamics like we've covered. I mean, Cedric and Alexander and Kyle Matthews, I think you and I both know that match is not going 5 minutes. Jimmy Rave, Michael Judas, who knows? Variables at play in the scramble with a bonus match to follow with Posey, Tyson, and Jeff Lewis. The tag match, Stupid and Sal Renaro. Am I missing something off that card? And I'm sure AJ Steele Pandora, this is not going to be a 30-second promo in and out. Tell me too much with a special front row seat. A lot of different moving factors at the fairgrounds this Saturday.
It's going to be a good time. How can everybody get tickets?
You can message us at twafanbase@yahoo.com. You can order with a credit or debit card if you like. You can also pick them up at the door. You can also call us 770-328-2251. Alternate number 770-328-1162. You can also go on PeachStateWrestlingAlliance.com. Check out any extra information, merchandise, and such. We are also on Twitter at TheRealPWA, as well as our Peach State Wrestling Alliance fan page, also on Facebook.
Now, I want to let everybody know, cameras will be rolling this Saturday for a DVD taping. Bring your signs, bring your posters, bring your banners, bring your T-shirts, and bring your happy ass ready to have some fun in Carrollton at the fairgrounds this coming Saturday night. So, regardless, there are going to be cameras in different locations. So you may just end up on screen before the night is done. Also, Shane and I had a great conversation last week. And this was something that we were originally going to, we're going to debut it tonight. I have the honor and the privilege of returning to Peach State this coming Saturday night to join Pierce, and I'm hoping that you're going to be on microphone at least once or twice for commentary.
I would love to come out and do a match with you as always, sir. And I was just going to mention before we delve any further, all that is on tap. That's what's scheduled. That's what's on the poster. But Jay Taylor, the kind gentleman who is kind enough to run our website as well as make these beautiful posters, if you don't notice, at the end of each one, it always says, and more, an exclamation point. Yeah. I can tell you there will be a couple of surprises as well October the 3rd. We're not advertised.
And I will give you one more exclusive on this one. If you have the Beyond Ringside Radio app for Android, Amazon, and BlackBerry, If you have the TuneIn Radio app, cross-platform, Windows Phone, Apple, all of the above, make sure to, if you're on TuneIn or if you're on Shoutcast Mobile, a couple of the other different providers that we're a part of, make sure to bookmark the Beyond Ringside channel on TuneIn, on Shoutcast, Radionomy, and a few of the other mobile apps that are out there. Because when things wrap up at Peach State, we go live. Broadcasting live immediately following the show this coming Saturday night in Carrollton, Georgia. A very special edition BR Late Night. Anything goes at Peach State.
I was going to say, if you're not fortunate enough to attend the event this Saturday, you can listen in on Beyond Ringside, as Eddie just alluded to. DVD copies will be available within 1 week of the October 3rd show. You can go on PeachStateWrestlingAlliance.com. There's a nice little shopping cart. Add to cart. We'll get the email notification, get it shipped out to you in 2 to 3 days. But if you are in the West Georgia, East Alabama area, if you're up towards Chattanooga, this is one of those events. If you're in the Atlanta area, yes, I'm the promoter. You may say he has to say this. I don't say this about every event. I'm saying it about this Saturday. If you want to see the best that Peach State Wrestling Alliance has to offer on its own roster, as well as outside talent, this is the show to be at this Saturday. And since the Georgia-Alabama game is not in prime time, no excuses.
No excuses. Okay, now, I'm going to hit you with this one. As of right now, Georgia is a 2.5-point favorite over Alabama, according to scoresandodds.com. This for entertainment purposes only, but I use scoresandodds.com. Actually,
it's only entertainment if you win.
It's entertainment if I don't lose.
True.
Yeah, I screwed up and called the upset yesterday. I was wanting to. My gut said the Chiefs were going to find a way to win, and guess what? I was so wrong.
Well, since we're saying no longer for entertainment purposes, I can say took the 2-thing parlay, Green Bay to win the money line as well as the over on 48.5 points. I saw the Chiefs' defense banged up. It was at Lambeau. Just didn't see it turning out real good for the Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, I had a feeling somewhere deep inside, and this was one of the few times that gut kind of that little voice in the back of my head, I should have actually ignored it, because normally that little voice said something, and it's money. Yeah, I was wrong on that one. It cost me lunch. Although I did, yeah, my picks on Saturday, I sucked wind. I think I maybe got 3 out of 10 correct. Sunday, however, for the pros, I went 9 out of 10. Not on a parlay. Straight up.
Oh, I was going to say, we do not endorse gambling, kids, so cover your ears or shrink the window. But I put $20 on a 3-team parlay. Pittsburgh to cover 1 point at the St. Louis Rams. Done. The Oakland Raiders as underdogs to win, even with the 1 o'clock Eastern time zone change in Cleveland, to win straight up. The 3rd team, Tampa Bay to win straight up at Houston. If their field goal kicker hadn't went Ray Finkel, I've been looking at an extra $350 coming into this week.
Nice.
Oh, that was so disheartening.
I believe it. Yeah, I know. When you get 2 out of 3 or 9 out of 10 on a parlay like that, it's like, son of a buzzard.
I'd rather miss them all.
Yeah. No, I'd rather be that close to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. It's disheartening when you miss that last little bit of the parlay, but by the same token, it's like, okay, we'll pay a little bit more attention this week and see what we get right. So I take it as a motivational experience. But right now, Georgia, 2.5-point favorite over Alabama. And the over currently has been moved. It originally came out at 53. Now it's 54.5. I was surprised that the line stayed the same, but the over increased by 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time, Alabama is an underdog in 72 games. Is that correct?
I think so. The only time that they were, the only other time I think was when they were taking on Hoover High School. And that was
they are on MTV or ESPN quite a bit.
I know it.
My thoughts on this game, I honestly don't look for a close game. I think either Georgia's going to come in motivated, saying we got over the hump, we defeated the old ball coach Steve Spurrier in South Carolina in convincing fashion, and this is their year, or I think that they have not faced a defense the caliber of the University of Alabama, and Derrick Henry will run the ball down their throat where Coker only has to attempt 12 passes. A lot of people think it's going to come down to a final touchdown between Ron Chubb or Derrick Henry. I look for a convincing win either way. I just don't see this being a close game.
You know, and I've watched when Coker has been at the helm. And I know, and I'm sure that Mark Richt has already noted the fact that Coker's favorite third down target is Mulhaney. I notice on second down, they love to hand it off either to Drake or to Henry. I know that their short passing game is good. Coker has really not impressed me that much with the long ball. And when it comes down to it, you know, you've got, and unfortunately Foster's out with the injury, but O.J. Howard has the potential to genuinely step into the shoes that Amari Cooper left empty.
Mm-hmm.
And Howard just has unlimited potential. I was thinking that when Drake came back off the injury this year that he was going to step into that role and just be the utility man. And unfortunately, it hasn't really shown through yet. And I don't think they're running the right. Now, I can't always say what is the right design play to feature him. But I'm also going to, I'm going to go to the other side of the ball real quick, and you were making a reference to Alabama's defensive alignment, and I love the factor of the strategic replacing of certain people in different positions, because you have to, if you've been trained, if your skill set leans toward and your coaching leans toward a particular position, and you go from outside linebacker to free safety, or you're going to the spy position, I really think that certain players on defense should cross-train at different positions, because it helps you understand the mindset of what you're looking for in different plays, in different offensive formations. And I'm personally I'm not going to say a huge fan, I'm not going to say a big fan, but I'm going to say an avid supporter of utilizing the spy back position or the rover, what used to be the rover back, now is affectionately referred to as the spy, because I think it adds a whole new dimension to the defense that it's making certain offensive coordinators perk up, take notice, and realize we've got to deal with this. Because remember back when it was officially referred to as the inside rover back, and now they've officially named it the spy, nicknamed it the spy position. I'm genuinely a fan of the concept because it adds a whole new dimension to where even on a nickel defense. Did you see where I was going with that?
I wanted. This is completely out of round, but I just wanted to see what you thought. If you have a different opinion, that's great. We can both be armchair quarterbacks. Your thoughts? Do you see it as a close game, or do you see it as convincing for either side?
I don't see it as convincing for either side, because right now I know Alabama's in a reeling position, even coming off of last Saturday. And thank you again, Nick Saban, for winning by 34 when the line was 35 and the over was nowhere touched. I don't bet on Bama. I'm not Pete Rose. Yeah. I'm not betting on my team. Not even for lunch. Hi, Mario. What's up, dude? I think that they're in a very precarious circumstance, and I know they didn't have to get up for last week's game. I think they know they have to get up for this game. But by the same token, Georgia knows, Mark Richt knows, the seniors and juniors know they are on the hot seat this weekend. They have an opportunity. Georgia has the opportunity against a Bama team that's not banged and battered, but does not have its identity in place.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a situation where they know, both teams know their back is against the wall in a national forum. Bama loses this weekend, playoff implications, done. Georgia loses this weekend, that monkey's still on their back. And Mark Richt returns to the hot seat one more time. Now, Georgia would have to run the table completely after an Alabama victory.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if they win this week, he has breathing room. Because Alabama right now, like I said, they're not banged up, they're not battered. We've lost one high-profile player on offense. We haven't had that many major injuries on defense. But the way the way our bench is right now, we can rotate. So Georgia, I think, is on a bigger hot seat to a great degree than Alabama is. I think Georgia has to win more than Alabama does. A lot of Alabama fans are sitting back going, okay, We realize this. We're in a rebuilding process. Our quarterback structure is screwed. We don't have that one go-to guy. Coker's okay. Bateman's almost okay. I think it's going to be, I really do think that this is going to come down to a touchdown or less. Because I think...
I agree with you on that. Not to interrupt, I agree with you. I think Georgia needs it more, even though you may say Alabama with the one loss should be the more desperate team. But like I said, we know Steve Spurrier has been the thorn in Mark Richt's side, and winning that game, winning convincingly, great. You jump that hurdle, the expectations are there, but you don't play Alabama every year, and now they're coming to town.
Exactly. Now, this is a Bama home game, right? Or is this between the hedges?
This is between the hedges.
That adds that much more pressure for Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you have people, myself included, that I've been, okay, I bleed Crimson Tide red. Just as much as I bleed green and gold for the UAB Blazers. And I'm hoping 2016 they're back. I'm praying they're back. And Ray Watts is fired and dumped off in the sewage like he belongs. Paul Bryant Jr.'s little bitch. Sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. Kayfabe? No, shoot. It's a shoot work. It's a work shoot. No, it's just a shoot. I've been one of those who had had very high hopes, not expectations, but high hopes for Georgia under Mark Richt. They have performed admirably in most circumstances, but there have been some circumstances over the course of the few years that they've shot themselves in the foot. And they've won games that people thought they would lose. They lost games that people thought they would win. It balanced.
Absolutely.
And the thing about it is, they've still got a couple of monkeys on their back. Getting past South Carolina was a beautiful thing. Because how many years in a row now has Georgia been picked to win the East?
About 6, I believe. And like you said, it's almost like they can't put it all together and beat Florida, Tennessee, and South Carolina in the same calendar year. They're going to drop one of those games, and it would not surprise me, even if they are victorious against Alabama, they should be heavy favorites for the biggest cocktail party against Florida. I could see the Gators winning that game.
I can see the Gators winning the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, but by the same token, I think this is the year that Georgia... Okay, because Tennessee is actually moving up, and they're impressing me. They're looking really good. I think Butch is still a little bit over his head right now, but by the same token, I think Tennessee has done a lot and made a lot of great strides in the offseason. They're making some good moves this year, and it's this close. Tennessee is this close to breaking through.
Yeah, I mean, and just like last year, the game against Oklahoma, I think they got housed 55-23. This year, the game was so close, and they should have won that ball game. So showing the improvement in just 1 year.
I mean, I'm looking right now at the line and let's see, Mississippi is a 7.5-point favorite, 5-point teaser with a line of 50, with over a 51.5 over Florida that's coming Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm sitting back going, I see no reason, even though Florida's playing inspired. They're playing better than they have for a while. I don't see any reason why Mississippi should lose this game.
I agree. Hugh Freeze will have the boys ready to go. They've already beaten Alabama. Talk about a team that's in control of their own destiny. It's Ole Miss. I don't think they're going to have any problem with the team on the plains this year. But who knows who knows how that win against Tennessee last week will impact Florida going forward.
All right, tell you what, we're going to do this. Are you planning to take Georgia this coming Saturday, or are you taking Alabama?
I'm like you. Neither is my team, but 2.5. If you put a gun to my head, I'm going to take Alabama as road dog.
Oh, wow. You just took that right out from under me. Crap.
I think over the years, especially with the Nick Saban team, you're more inclined to win money betting on Alabama than against.
9 times out of 10, I'll never bet on Bama. I will never bet on Bama. That's why I was going to sit back and say this would be the one occasion where I might actually take Bama as the road dog. But I was going to say loser buys wings.
The one line with Alabama that I thought was ridiculous, and not to bring this up,
go ahead.
The whole Chris Davis deal, but 2 years ago, the Iron Bowl, when it crept up to 19.5 for Alabama at Jordan-Hare, I just thought that was a tad high. And I put it on Auburn, and didn't expect that incredible finish. I just thought 20 points was a tad high.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm normally paying attention when they start adjusting everything. It's like Mississippi State, Texas A&M this coming Saturday, 7:30 p.m. start time. The line has stayed the same. A&M is a 7-point favorite, but the over has gone from 58.5 to just a little while ago bumped to 60.
I would take the under on that one. I'm not sure Mississippi State can stay with A&M scoring-wise.
Yeah, I mean, well, considering what they've done in recent weeks, it's been an on-again, off-again situation, and I think A&M right now would probably be a little bit more in an advantageous situation. That's another one that I keep looking at because it's like, okay, I'm pulling this one straight off the sheet, and I'm looking at it going, really? You're going to go there? Western Kentucky taking on Rice. Western Kentucky is a 7.5-point favorite. That was adjusted from a 5.5-point favorite, and the over has gone from 69.5 to 72.5. Yeah. And here's the sad part about it. I can actually see that game being a 49-48 finish.
Yeah. Can I mention one pro line, and you could look it up to see if it's changed? But
yeah, go ahead.
It was yesterday. The 0-3 Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
On a short week, traveling Thursday night to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I know without Big Ben for 4 to 6 weeks, Michael Vick will be under center. But the Ravens are 2.5-point favorites on the road on a short week, winless squad. I don't know if that line is still accurate.
Here we go. 7:25 p.m. Central Time start time this Thursday night, Baltimore-Pittsburgh. Baltimore is a current 2.5-point favorite with a 43.5 over.
Does that not seem kind of surprising to you? I mean, the Ravens, a lot of people picked them to go to the Super Bowl. Personally, I felt they just lost too much on offense. Even with Steve Smith being in his final year, what else do they have? It was a very close game to Denver where they didn't look good. They scored a lot of points, gave up a ton of points to the Oakland Raiders. And this past week, they gave Cincinnati their best shot, especially when they forced the fumble from Andy Dalton, C.J. Mosley, former Bama boy, takes it to the house, and everyone's saying, oh, it's the same redheaded stranger, Andy Dalton. No, he just marches it down and scores 2 touchdowns. So 0-3 Baltimore, because if you look at the history on these Thursday night games, the road team does not win on the short week.
Right. Well, in this particular circumstance, I think Baltimore and Pittsburgh are in the same time zone.
Mm-hmm.
And not too far from the same geographic region. I think they're both Eastern time, so it's not going to be an hour difference in play. It's just going to be the road trip, which is really not that far from Pennsylvania to Maryland or from Maryland to Pittsburgh.
I could see them limiting Michael Vick to 15 to 18 pass attempts with a heavy dose of Le'Veon Bell.
Well, that's the trick to Michael Vick because of the fact that he has not been so prevalent. He has not been so visible. He's more of a genuine wild card now than he was 2 years ago. And this is going to be a circumstance where Michael Vick has been hurt. And this is where, I look at him as the original blueprint for quarterbacks such as RG3.
Mm-hmm.
And before I go any further, folks, you're listening to Beyond Ringside Back to Basics Tuesday night and November. Where the hell did I get that from? September 29th. I was trying to say 9th month, 29th day, and it didn't freaking work. Fast Eddie Layne, Shane Knowles on this Tuesday thing. See, to me, Vic was the blueprint for quarterbacks such as Kaepernick, read option quarterbacks like RG3, and I can dare say Marcus Mariota to a great degree, even though Mariota in his senior year seemed to rely a little bit more on the pass side than the rush side, where in his junior year he was more 50-50 split pass rush. And you notice Vic was not Iron Man. He did get banged up quite a bit on the read option. So I think that he's relying a little bit more, possibly shotgun, possibly pocket, than he is going to be on the open run. But he's not afraid to put his feet on the ground and try to press forward. He's still ballsy enough to do that. I know that the pressure is going to be on him more so than on any member of the Baltimore offense. And if Vic
gets his nose in the right direction, can Baltimore's defense hold him down?
I was going to say, Vic's got the best player on the field for both sides in Antonio Brown. Find him early and often. And I would say Le'Veon Bell, second best player on the field. His running back, feed him early and often.
Yeah. I mean, that's where it's like you've got – I was watching Green Bay last night, and when their offense is healthy and that's one of the reasons I've picked all over again Seattle Green Bay to go to the championship game, NFC championship game. I had originally planned for Colts Broncos in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the Colts have been playing, I don't know if that's going to happen.
I was going to say Denver could still get there playing a different style than we've been accustomed to with the Broncos the last 3 or 4 years.
Very true, because Manning is realizing his mortality this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I was really impressed the other night because he actually did air it out a couple of times, and it looked good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, only Peyton Manning, I think, and maybe Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady to some degree would do this. Right before the end of the half, 5 seconds to go, 4th and 1. From the 40, do you go for the field goal? No, we're just going to chunk it down to Demaryius Thomas for the touchdown and surprise everybody.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, I'm really kind of curious to see how it works out this coming Thursday night for the Ravens Steelers game. And, you know, I had to sit back. My Falcons are 3-0. They went into Jerry World. They weathered this. If this was not the case of a tale of two halves for the Atlanta Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys, what is?
28 points in the first half for the Cowboys. Joseph Randle, everyone's scrambling to the waiver wire in their fantasy football leagues to pick him up. He did tandem already. And Dallas comes out with 52 yards of total offense in the second half and no scores. And I love what the Falcons are doing because it starts with the head coach, Dan Quinn. I don't think anyone will ever mistake Atlanta for being a defensive juggernaut, but their offense has been so good that if the defense can just be competent, a top 15 defense, they could go a long way, especially in that division. I am worried that the first 3 games have all been second half double-digit deficits to overcome, but that does show some moxie and some resiliency in that team, but it'd be nice to see them get off to a fast start. And I think they will Sunday against the Texans. Bring up another line. Shane's pick of the week, Atlanta favored 6.5 at home. Take it all day.
Yeah, they're at home against the Texans right now, and it is 6.5 as of right now. The line originally started at 45. I mean, the over started at 45, and the line was Atlanta with 5. And that has been changed. The over's now 47, and Atlanta's 6.5-point favorite.
Atlanta's one of those teams to me that is like Green Bay. They're like New England. They're like Denver. If I'm ever looking at a line, I say, okay, I know this team is going to get their 21 to 24 points. Is the team they're playing going to match that? And I certainly don't see it with Ryan Mallett and the Texans. Not in the Georgia Dome.
The game that has me the most intrigued right now, don't laugh when I tell you this, Oakland, Chicago.
2.5 for the Raiders?
3.
Ooh.
With an even kicker. Over's 44.5. I'm taking the Raiders.
Yeah, same here.
I'll actually make a stake bet on that one for somebody to coin one for our hometown listeners. To,
and it sounds crazy to say I'll take the Raiders. Second, it sounds crazy to take the Raiders on a road game in the 1 o'clock Eastern time zone. But that didn't show any effects last week against Cleveland. This week, I'm not sure if Alshon Jeffrey will be back, but I'm sure Jimmy Clausen will still be under center. And we saw the goose egg they put up last week at Seattle.
No kidding. Of course, there's a difference on a team like Seattle because Seattle, when they're clicking on all cylinders, and now that they got Cam Chancellor working his way back into the defensive alignment, the Legion of Boom is almost back at full strength, and they're going to hit stride just at the right time.
I think the one team that could play a wild card in the whole NFC, and they really should have last year before Carson Palmer went down, and that is the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Defense, 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 deep threats, special teams, coaching. Bruce Arians, a poor man's, take your pick. But he really motivates that team and has them ready to play each week.
I've got to put this one in perspective for this football season, for the pro season so far, because you've got a genuine case of feast or famine. And this is something we're going to talk a little bit more this coming Saturday morning on Showcase, Shooter's Gallery about. And you have games and you have teams that just jump out and go the cream of the crop. But unfortunately, that parity on the upper end of the scale is not as strong this year as it was last year, at least not in the first part of this season. Because I look at some of these games that are taking place this week, week 4 technically, and you've got matchups where it's not a case of who's going to win, it's going to be a case of who can avoid losing.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say it like that. Last year, it's like, and you've got some of these games where, and even in college, this past weekend, it was a case of not necessarily a marquee matchup as to who the stronger team is going to be and who's going to win, but who the team is going to be that makes the fewest mistakes to avoid losing.
Oh, I've said that about the pros. Forget the spread. It's hard enough to bet the money line. Just pick the winner straight up.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, okay, this is where I'm going to draw heat. Philadelphia and Washington this Sunday, 1 p.m. start time. It's really who can avoid losing.
Right. The Redskins at home really gave my Miami Dolphins a good battle in week 1 before succumbing, then turn right around and annihilate the Rams, who were on everybody's high list after they beat Seattle. Who knows?
I mean, I'm looking at okay, and this is one we're going to take a closer look at this coming Saturday. Carolina, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, by the laws of logic, has pieces in place to be at least an 8-8 team or 7-9. And the way that they're going right now, I don't think it's going to happen. Whereas Carolina, somehow or another, still manages to shoot itself at the foot at the most inopportune times.
I think Carolina is the most surprising 3-0 team by far.
They really, well, a lot of people say that about Atlanta too.
Well, I mean, when Kelvin Benjamin went down, it's already not a deep wide receiver core for the Carolina Panthers. I mean, I know everyone kind of panicked when Jordy Nelson went down for the Packers, but you kind of have that assurance with Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy, they'll be fine. It was panic button when Kelvin Benjamin went down, but somehow they've managed to form some semblance of a passing game besides Greg Olsen. The ghost of Ted Ginn has woken up.
Yeah, I know.
And they're 3-0.
It really, I mean, and that's been a surprise for me this year. It's like, I know, okay, and, living in Alabama, of course, we have the ghost of Cam Newton flying around here anyway. Best $160,000 Auburn ever spent, and they agree.
Oh, did you see that confrontation, by the way, he had with Ed Hockley?
Of course. I read lips. Ed didn't say that unless he said it when his face was turned where I couldn't make it out.
The only thing that gets me is they're having a casual conversation, and whatever Ed said, you could just read the facial expression on Cam. Like, are you kidding me? You know what he told him. So even if it wasn't to the degree of you're not old enough to get that call, I'd love to see Ed Hockley if he was mic'd up so we could find out what exactly he said.
I would love to know exactly what he said from start to finish. And, you got professional lip readers who are going through and trying to dissect every syllable. And it may not be you're not old enough to get that call, or try again sometime, Rook, even though he's not a rookie anymore.
Right.
I really have to sit back and say that call was questionable to begin with. I really think that there should have been a flag, and for them to question the factor of Cam, if he really wants to put it into play that Cam's not old enough to get that call, or not established enough to get that call, or the track record isn't there for him to get that call, that's still horse crap, one way or the other.
Oh, yeah. I think something Cam took umbrage with is the fact Andrew Luck gets that call, and he's been in the league less years than Cam.
True.
Why?
And I think it's because of the factor of the positioning of the Indianapolis Colts versus the positioning of the Carolina Panthers. Of course, coming out of the Peyton Manning era, where even though there was only one Super Bowl win, you still have a franchise in place. The franchise is old enough to where the quarterback will get that call. Do I think Cam Newton would get that call if he was on the Colts? Yes, I do. I think he would. Because
one line I want to ask you about, my sinking Miami Dolphins traveled to London, England for the second year in a row for a home game against the AFC rivals New York Jets, with the Jets being a 1-point favorite.
Dolphins are a 1-point favorite. Nope, they're Jets are 1.5-point favorite. The line originally opened up as the Dolphins being a 1-point favorite with an even keel kicker. The over being 41.
As of early this morning, the line was shifted, and now the Jets are a 1.5 favorite with a 41.5 over.
I would take the over. The only thing I have hope, and it's different seasons. Last year when they went to London, the team was kind of the same slow start. Coach Philbin challenged Tannehill. The team came out and destroyed the Raiders, cost Dennis Allen his job, and actually had a good semblance going into place at 5-3 before injuries happened. I can only hope that a trip to London could be the spark they need, because there's just too much talent on that Miami Dolphins team on both sides of the ball to be playing so lethargic.
I agree wholeheartedly in that particular regard. At this point, I'd be the first one to sit back and say I would go ahead and take the Dolphins right now, and I would definitely take the over as well. Even though a lot of people are going to sit back and look at New York and give them the nod, mainly because of reputation and with everything happening and the shakeups that are going on with New York. But I'm still going to sit back and say that Miami would probably be, for me, the better bet.
Mm-hmm.
Do me a favor. I know. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think, getting beat 41-14 by Rex Ryan and the Bills, a divisional foe, in your home opener, the 50-year anniversary of Miami Dolphins football, with Larry Zonka, Paul Warfield, Greasy Marino, Shula all in the house, and you get housed with embarrassing play on both sides of the ball. If that doesn't motivate you to come out and play the Jets, then I think it may be time to start cleaning house.
In a huge way, to say the least. Well, do me a favor. We're at 20 minutes after the top of the hour. I promised you we wouldn't go 2 hours this time, so we'll settle for an hour and a half. And plus, and there's going to be a lot that we're going to be covering this coming Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. on the Pacific side. Remembered. Right here on the Beyond Ringside on the Beyond Ringside Saturday Showcase, the Shooters Gallery in place. And we're working on making sure Kaz is going to be up and moving on this one too. So we got a lot of ground we're going to cover. So I'm going to go ahead and toss in your direction, Shane. Last call, whatever you want to put on the table. It's all you.
Look forward to the Saturday Showcase getting off the ground this weekend, first and foremost, and look forward to being joined by others on the panel. Did a lot of pro football, college football talk, but to bring this full circle back to Peach State Wrestling Alliance, check out PeachStateWrestlingAlliance.com. And I just want to say, I want to challenge any fans that are listening. I know it's college football season. I know that sometimes I go to wrestling because I want to see the names. Cedric Alexander may not be a household name if all you watch is WWE. But if you ask any fans that travel, that keep up, that watch Ring of Honor, that certainly are in the know, so to speak, they will tell you, do not miss an opportunity when this gentleman comes to town.
I'll drink to that. Had a
I
chance.
mean, you saw him first and foremost at AWE a few weeks ago. Am I correct?
Yes, I did. Tales of an Arabian Facebuster.
And who did he wrestle that night?
He was a part of a 7-man scramble that came down to him and Sugar Dunkerton as the final two.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I will tell you this. If those two go head up, there will be a serious Match of the Year candidate in that match, because I've made this statement before. And if you remember years ago when the Royal Rumble took place and the final two in the Rumble were The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
And these two went a good 15-20 and gave everybody more than their money's worth. When that 7-man scramble got down to 4 people, Chip Day, Iceberg, Cedric, and Sugar Dunkerton. Because of situations revolving around the hierarchy where Chip Day was chased away from the ring and out of the building, and Iceberg was knocked cold because of a nice big hammer, and it came down to Dunk and Cedric. These two went another 10 to 12 minutes, tore the house down, and turned the lights on big time. Georgia Power could have had a blackout, and these two would have lit that building up all over again. I got to be careful when I pick on power companies. Crap will happen. Sooner or later, crap will come full circle, and it always goes downhill on my head. But I will sit back and say this. Watching these two in action, I've watched Alexander live in person. I've watched him on television. I've watched him on pay-per-view. This man always delivers.
And when you have a circumstance like you have this coming Saturday night in Carrollton, where it is Cedric Alexander and Kyle Matthews, remember, Matthews voted the best technical wrestler in the state of Georgia more than 1 year. I think it was 3 years in a row that he was.
3 years, and that's with people like Fred Yehai and Jimmy Rave also on the ballot.
Exactly. You have the potential for a match of the year candidate. You have the definite potential for a match that is going to have people talking in a great way, in a positive way, in a good way for weeks to come. So, it's like we were talking about geographics a little while ago. It doesn't matter if you live up in South Carolina, make the drive down 75, or 85, I'm sorry. Doesn't matter if you're in Chattanooga, want to come down 75 and hang a ride on 20. If you live in eastern Alabama, central Alabama, I'll even say North Florida. Show this Saturday night, Peach State Wrestling Alliance is going to be worth the drive. I would say that if I'm not even going to be there. But I'm going to be there. And like I said, there's even more surprises on the way. We call it hashtag BR Party at Peach State. That hashtag will go viral in 5 minutes ago. And either that or just flat out hashtag Party at Peach State.
And remember, Cedric and Kyle Matthews, the winner gets a shot at the PWA Heritage Champion Jimmy Ray, provided he is able to compete October 17th following his bounty match with a 6'7" Michael Judas. And looking at that, a little preview, Cedric Alexander, Jimmy Ray, I know they squared off at AWE about a month ago, and Jimmy showed up for the Peach State event the next week with the black eye and bruised ribs.
Yep.
But if it were to be Kyle Matthews, those two definitely no strangers to each other. They've wrestled each other in TNA, Rampage, Peach State, hell, all over the Southeast. So no matter who comes out of the match Saturday, you know you're going to get one hell of a competitor, a challenger for Ray's Heritage title in 2 weeks.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and throw these out there real quick because, folks, earlier this evening during the second hour when I had Corey and Stan on from WrestleRage, we talked about the some of the occurrences that are going to be this coming Sunday. So I want to let everybody know there's a full weekend of pro wrestling action for fans in the southeastern U.S. because this coming Friday night, Pro South Wrestling back at 627 Southern Avenue in Piedmont, Alabama. For our friends in western Georgia, definitely able to make the short drive to check it out. All over North Alabama, definitely check it out. Saturday night, Peach State Wrestling Alliance, Carrollton, Georgia, back at the fairgrounds. This is going to be a great night of pro wrestling action. And on Sunday in Atlanta at the Legacy or the Quad, this place has so many nicknames. Make it easy for a simple jackass like me, please. Pick one. No. Spring Street, 1 block from the Varsity. One of my favorite places to go and get fat. It really is.
What do you have?
What do you have? That's all we can say. If you've never been there, you don't know what I'm talking about. Real quick, Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment this coming Sunday. Once again, start time is, 4 p.m. start time, local time. Check it out, Atlanta Wrestling ATLWrestlingENT.com, AtlantaWrestlingEntertainment.com. Find them on Facebook and Twitter as well. David Starr taking on Cedric Alexander, Shane Strickland, Chip Day, The Hierarchy, Jimmy Rave, Murder One, Iceberg in 6-man action. Grizz taking on Darkman. Sorry, I'll pronounce it right in a minute. I got to think Jamaican, dude. Dementia DeRose versus Ashton Starr. They're going to have a great lineup this coming Sunday at Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. So for our friends in the southeastern U.S., you've got some great shows going on all the way across the board this weekend. And so many, I didn't even get a chance to scratch the surface on shows that are coming up. Empire Wrestling Federation in Covina, California. Hood Slam Pro Wrestling in Oakland, California. Northeast Wrestling in Danbury, Connecticut. Alternative Pro Wrestling in Royston, Georgia this Friday night. American Premier in Statesboro, Georgia this Friday night. Wild Championship Wrestling Outlaws at the WCWO Arena this coming Friday, October 2nd in Indianapolis, Indiana. 3XW in Des Moines, Iowa this Friday night. East Coast Pro Wrestling in Wayne, New Jersey, 8 p.m. start Friday night. Tier 1 Wrestling in Queens, New York. Rockstar Pro in Dayton, Ohio. This is all Friday night. Showcase Pro Wrestling, Woonsocket, Rhode Island, 7:47 p.m. start time. Check out showcaseprowrestling.com if you don't believe me. Also, this coming Friday, Revolution Pro Wrestling in London, in the UK, 7:30 p.m. local time. Check out revolutionprowrestling.com. Also, Friday night, October 2nd, Worldwide Wrestling League in Musselburgh in the UK, 7 p.m. start time. Letter W, number 3, letter L, wrestling.com for Worldwide Wrestling League out of Musselburgh in the UK. Check them out. You've got so many events coming up on Saturday. I swear to you, I'm looking at a list right now that has over 150 listings for this coming Saturday.
I was going to say, I hope the Miami Dolphins arrive in London early and go to the matches and learn what it's like to put up a fight.
Matter of fact, Rock and Wrestle on Saturday, October 3rd at Victoria Hotel in Forres in the UK, 7 p.m. start time. WrestleZone in Balmedy in the UK, 7 p.m. start time. Looking to see if there's any others immediately in the UK. Let's see. No, that's in Ontario. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 taking place in Ontario this coming Saturday, October 3rd. So, tell you what, I'm going to run a full list a little bit later on Saturday Showcase, and I'll run one tomorrow night after the To Be Determined show. So mark your calendars. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, September 30th. I know I'm trying to get all this in because I have the music beds running in behind me. Shoot me now. But tomorrow, here's the quick rundown. September 30, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific. The To Be Determined show. Special guest, the Complete Wrestling Machine Spiral. The Bosnian Badass will be on TBD. This coming Saturday, October 3, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. Saturday Showcase, the Shooters Gallery returns. This coming Sunday, and like I said, we've worked out the logistics on this. This Saturday night, October 3rd, live from Carrollton, Georgia, we will be doing a very special edition of BR Live, a wrap-up show for Peach State Wrestling Alliance. Going to have some of the stars that are on that show that night. Going to have exclusive interviews. And you never know what kind of chaos is going to break loose, especially when yours truly, MaBo, possibly Wick, Billy Schmitke, Robert Cosper, the family is going to be there. Hashtag Party at Peach State. And the Trifecta returns this Sunday, October the 4th. Check out BeyondRingside.com, at Beyond Ringside on Twitter, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside, and Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. For me personally, Fast Eddie Layne, LAYNE.com, at Fast Eddie Layne on Twitter and Instagram. I'm also on LinkedIn, Google+, and I think I may have a Periscope account, and I'm probably going to bring back Snapchat and flip everybody off. I may just do that. My return picture on Snapchat will be me shooting a bird, as always.
Well, good. We'll have to link accounts here after the conclusion of the telecast.
I gotta reload it in the tablet. And for my friends in the Birmingham metropolitan area, I look forward to seeing everybody this coming Friday night, 9 p.m. Buffalo Wild Wings in Alabaster. Friday night karaoke. Always, always, always a great time. Damn straight. For me personally, it's hashtag the party continues. Savannah Strange, once again, happy Sweet 16. Congratulations. It was an honor and a privilege to DJ your party this past Sunday. Steve, Laura, thank you for the opportunity. Greatly appreciated. And to everybody who made it out to the party Sunday night, it was great to meet so many of y'all. I really enjoyed it. Even picking back and forth. Joy, you were a blast to hang out with. And to Steve's family and to Laura's family who made it out for the party, it was an honor to meet y'all as well. I look forward to making a return to Fayette, Alabama in the near future, and looking forward to some great things going on up there. I'm really appreciative and very honored that y'all thought of me to come out there and DJ the party. Thank you. To everybody celebrating birthdays in the next couple of days, including Tasha Simone, former NWA Women's World Champion who celebrated on Tuesday. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Holy hell. We made it another year, didn't we? Let's take this puppy home. Shane, any other shameless plugs you want to throw out there?
Actually, yes. One event. This coming Friday, October the 2nd, in Barnesville, Georgia, WrestleMerica, which is the promotion owned by New Japan star, former WWE TNA star Luke Gallows. They will be at the Old Academy Gym, 8 o'clock start time, Friday, October the 2nd. New Japan star Tama Tonga in the house, as well as the Bullet Babe from the Bullet Club, Amber O'Neil Gallows, Luke Gallows in action, also Iceberg, and many more.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to hearing some great things out of that. I know Luke Gallows was recently on WrestleRage with Smarkrage and Stan to promote WrestleMerica. And look forward to having Doc Gallows. It happens this way. You know.
I do it too. I did the same thing.
But yeah, Tama Tonga, and matter of fact, you've worked with him before, right?
Yes, I've done a couple of shows with him for Wrestle America. He's been at Peach State a couple of times as well. Good guy. And as far as the Doc Luke thing, I'll get in trouble, but I'm like, Drew, pick a name and stick with it. So.
Pretty much, I'll agree to that. Pretty much, I'll agree. Are you doing the Twitter thing personally, or are you sticking with the Peach State, the real PWA?
Sticking with PWA right now. Look forward to getting my own Shane Knowles Twitter handle set up in the upcoming future. And I wanted to mention $10 this coming Saturday at the fairgrounds. With so much going on, we've ran down the card. We said there's going to be surprises. We know there's people that's not scheduled to wrestle that will be there. People that aren't scheduled at all that will be there. Party at Peach State, Beyond Ringside, goes live after the conclusion of the event Saturday. $10. You're going to spend $10 on the movie. You're not sure. You're going to spend more than that to go to the dirt track races. Come on out to Peach State Wrestling Alliance Saturday. It is a beautiful time set up. 70 degrees for a high on Saturday with a low of 51. It is absolutely going to be beautiful fall weather.
Let's take this puppy home for the night. For Mark MaBo Bowman, back from hour number 1. For Corey the Champion, Smarkrage and Stan Grubb from WrestleRage Radio in hour number 2. And for, I will now say, tag team partner, Shane Knowles.
Tune in Saturday to the Saturday Showcase on Beyond Ringside. We can hear me ask Eddie Layne, hey, what I said then?
This is the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne. Until next time, adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci, farewell, abbassina, au revoir. And until we meet again, aloha means bye-bye. Join us right here next time as we all go Beyond Ringside. And you know, don't make it so damn complicated. Remember, take it back to basics. Bye for now.